from $27.95. Professor Raymond McNutley is considered to know a great deal about the fair sex. After all, doesn't he teach at Lynn Haven College for Women? And yet there are times when the good professor seems something less than an expert on the subject. This morning, for instance, Ray really should have been a little suspicious when his wife, Peggy, insisted on his reading the morning paper at the breakfast table.
Anything exciting in the paper, dear?
No, just the usual stuff, Peg.
Oh, just nothing at all?
Well, here's an item. Local woman is asking for a divorce because her husband is a sleepwalker.
Huh, that doesn't seem much to complain about. Now, if her husband were one of those men who went out every night...
That's just what he did. He walked while she slept.
Oh. Well, what else is in the paper?
Oh, nothing really, Peg.
Oh, it can't be that dull, Ray. Read me some headlines.
What for?
Just read them to me. Try over on page 2.
Oh, all right, Peg. What's there you want me to see on page 2?
Oh, just a little item about a Broadway musical coming to town.
And you want to go see it?
It opens tonight at the Orpheum.
Peggy, do you want to go see it?
I think you would want to. It stars Sheila Castle.
Oh. Sheila Castle. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yes, the darling of 2 continents and former great and good friend of Raymond McNutley.
Oh, now, really, Peggy, that was years before I met you. Miss Castle was merely a casual acquaintance.
Uh-huh. Casual. Don't I recall a story about you throwing caution to the winds and madly pursuing Sheila around Cape Cod one whole summer in one of those small foreign cars?
Darling, I was just out of school. I was very young. I was very innocent. And,
I thought it was a little more serious than that. Didn't Sheila once refer to you in an interview as that mad, impetuous boy who made her forget for a moment that she was Queen of Broadway?
Oh, that was just ridiculous newspaper talk. Why, Sheila's had 2 or 3 husbands since then.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, that's Pete. Giving me a lift. Afraid I have to run, Peg.
Ray.
Yes, dear.
What was it that made you lose interest in Sheila?
Oh, now, Peggy.
Well, there must have been something.
Oh, darling, some other time. Pete's waiting for me.
What was it, Ray?
Oh, all right. It was the perfume she wore.
Do you remember what it was called?
Yes, Man Overboard. Oh, it wasn't funny, Peg. There was something about that perfume that I was allergic to.
Oh, you mean like hay fever?
Like hay fever. Peggy, where's my hat?
Oh, I'll get it. I bought you a new one yesterday.
All right, Pete, all right. Oh, now what? Hello.
Is this Professor McNutley's residence?
Yes, who is this?
Raymond, it's Sheila, darling.
Who?
Raymond, can you hear me?
I'm so sorry. Mr. McNutley, he not here. He leave town. He not come back long time. Goodbye.
Here's your new hat, Ray.
Thanks.
Don't you like it?
Sure, crazy about it.
Oh, good. I even had your initials put in it.
Fine. I gotta go, Peg.
Oh, Ray, what was that phone call?
Oh, nothing really. Just a dog pound. They wanted to know if we'd retrieved a lost Labrador. I'll see you tonight, honey.
Well, that's really something, Ray boy. A big Broadway star calling you the minute she hits town.
But why, Pete? After all these years, why should Sheila want to look me up?
Why? Well, weren't you and she sort of,
No, we were not.
You mean not even a little,
Well, maybe, but definitely not.
In other words, just good friends?
Exactly. Now cut it out, Pete. Pete, I'm a married man. No, I'm going to keep far, far away from her.
Ray.
Yeah.
You having lunch with Sheila?
Pete, I just told you there's absolutely no reason for me to see her. The flame has been dead for years.
Dead, huh? Ray boy, you know what they taught us in the Boy Scouts? The combination of dead embers and a strong wind can sure do a powerful lot of damage. And something tells me this could be the night of the big wind.
I'm coming. Hello.
Hello, I'd like to know how to get in touch with Mr. McNutley, please.
Who is this?
Sheila Castle.
Oh.
I'm an old friend of Ray's.
I'm, sorry, Miss Castle, but Mr. McNutley just left for work. He'll be tied up in his classroom all day.
Oh, then he is in town. When I called earlier, the houseboy said he'd gone on a trip.
Oh, really? Then, you called here before.
Yes. Now, would you be a sweet thing and tell the dear boy that I called?
Yes, I'll tell the dear boy.
Oh, by the way, I didn't ask who you are. Are you the cook, darling?
Oh, no. I'm just the upstairs maid. Goodbye, Miss Castle. The cook. I wonder what she wants of Ray. Well, at least as long as he's in his classroom, she can't get at him. Or can she?
And then Romeo attempts to comfort his friend Mercutio, who has just received a fatal blow. Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
Professor McNutley.
And Mercutio replies, no, it is not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door.
Professor McNutley.
Oh, good morning, Miss Bradley.
Professor, there's a person out in the hallway who insists on seeing you.
Oh? Who is it, Miss Bradley?
She wouldn't give me her name. She said she wanted to surprise you.
Does she look like anyone I might know?
If you do, you've been keeping a lot of things from us, Professor. It's got blonde hair, high French heels, leopard skin coat, and wears a perfume that smells like...
Man overboard.
Why, Professor.
Oh, excuse me, class. I'll be right back.
Well, I know.
Ray, darling.
Oh, hello, Sheila. It's nice to see you again.
Oh, and you too, darling. You haven't changed one bit.
Oh, Miss Bradley, I'd like you to meet Miss Sheila Castle.
Oh, how do you do? Not the Sheila Castle of Broadway.
None other, my dear. I'm opening here tonight at the Orpheum.
I see. And you and Mr. McNutley are old friends?
Old friends. Oh, my dear girl, at one time we were simply mad about each other.
Sheila, please.
Oh, look at him blush, Miss Bradley. He's still the same shy old chubby wubbykins.
Yes, isn't he, though? Well, I'm sure you two have lots to talk about, and I have work in my office. Happy to have met you, Miss Castle.
Thank you, darling.
Sheila, you had no business coming here.
But, Ray, pet, why not?
Why not?
Darling, I didn't think you could possibly refuse. You know, for old time's sake.
Sheila, may I remind you that I...
Oh, Ray. You're not still allergic to me.
Well, it's that perfume you wear. How anybody could like it.
Well, my 3 husbands did, darling. In a way, it's brought me my best notices.
Yeah, that's right.
There, you see. Now, what was it you were telling me, darling?
That I have a wife and a home.
Well, of course, and I'm so happy for you. But I don't see what that has to do with enrolling Joanne at Lynnhaven College.
Joanne?
My daughter. Her heart is set on going to school here, but I've heard that it's so difficult to get accepted that they're frightfully fussy. So I thought you might be able to put in a good word for Joanne.
Then you didn't come here to, You weren't thinking of, No, I guess you weren't.
Ray, you're acting very strangely.
Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing really, Sheila. I'll be happy to do anything I can to help your daughter enroll at Lynnhaven.
Oh, thank you, darling.
In fact, I'll go in and talk to Miss Bradley about it right now.
Shall I wait?
No. You run along, Sheila, and it's so nice to have seen you again.
Yes. And goodbye, darling.
Come in.
Miss Bradley, may I see you just a moment?
Come right in, chubby wobber kid.
Peggy, I'm home. Oh, cooking dinner. How are you, Peg? Hello. Peggy, is there something wrong?
After you left this morning, you got another call from the dog pound.
What?
This time, the Labrador Retriever left her name, Sheila Castle.
Oh. Well, as a matter of fact, that's what I wanted to tell you, darling. She stopped by school to see me.
Mm-hmm. I suppose she's the sort who would do that.
Oh, now, Peggy, there's nothing to be jealous about. The whole thing was rather amusing.
Mm-hmm. Ho, ho.
Peggy, she just wanted my help to get her daughter enrolled in Lynnhaven.
Oh, Ray, you mean that was all?
Of course, darling. So you see, there's nothing to be upset about.
Well, Dad...
That's the stuff. Now just give me a kiss.
Ray, what's that under your arm?
Oh, I almost forgot. I bought you a box of candy.
Oh, no. No.
Darling, what's wrong?
It's a guilty conscience. A guilty conscience.
Oh, Peg, you've got to believe me. Sheila means absolutely nothing to me. We just talked a little about old times, and, well, then I started to sneeze again.
Just like old times. Oh!
Peggy, darling! Honey! Okay, you win. It's the night of the big wind and no storm cellar.
Ray's discoursing that it pays to tell the truth. Another truth everyone knows is that no television set is any better than its picture. And General Electric TV's picture is best of all, for many reasons. First, GE is the first to use a 21-inch aluminized picture tube. This GE tube, with its magic mirror, makes blacks blacker and whites whiter, gives up to 100% more contrast than any other kind. General Electric's invisible dust seal prevents dust from collecting on the face of the picture tube. GE tilts its black-tinted safety glass so that room light and reflections are directed down, away from your eyes. And GE's 21-inch screen is a full 21 inches. Gives you 252 square inches of viewing area, not 220 square inches found in some 21-inch sets. When we say clearest picture in TV, that's not just a claim. It's the judgment of over 100,000 TV shoppers who voted GE TV's picture clearest 7-1 nationwide. See GE, now listed from only $179.95. And now back to the Ray Milland Show. Meet Mr. McNutley. Well, it's the next morning now. Peggy and Ray McNutley have finished breakfast, and yet neither one has made a move to leave the table. There's plenty of sound going on, though. Peggy ominously taps her toe against the floor. Ray, poor Ray, sits nervously popping his knuckles. And then suddenly, almost unbelievably...
Ray,
Yes, dear?
I'm sorry about the way I acted last night.
You are?
Mm-hmm. I've thought it all out. After all, you didn't ask Sheila Castle to come to town.
No, I certainly didn't.
And then you didn't ask her to visit you at school.
No, I did not.
And when you brought home that box of candy, I should have known that it was simply a sweet, spontaneous gesture.
Completely spontaneous.
After all, I bought you that new hat just the day before, and it wasn't because I had anything to feel guilty about.
Of course not, dear.
The whole trouble started with my teasing you about Sheila. We just talked about her too much.
Entirely too much.
Good. Then it's agreed.
What's agreed?
We won't say another word about her. We won't even mention her name, no matter what.
Well, I'll kiss on that.
Oh, excuse me, dear. Hello?
Peggy, this is Betty.
Oh, yes, Betty.
Darling, I just talked to the girls, and we've got a wonderful idea. Instead of playing bridge this afternoon, let's all go to the matinee at the Orpheum and see Sheila Castle.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, dear, everyone around the school is talking about how she and your husband are such old friends, so we thought that after the matinee, you might take us backstage to meet her in person.
Well, I don't know, Betty.
Why, Peggy, honey, surely there's no reason you wouldn't want us to meet Miss Castle, is there?
Oh, no, Betty, of course not.
Oh, good. Then we'll get the tickets and pick you up at 2, huh? Oh, won't it be fun?
Yeah, just barrels and barrels of. Goodbye, Betty.
I gotta go, Peg. Pete just pulled up outside.
Oh, all right. Oh, don't forget your new hat.
Oh, that's right. By the way, what are you and Betty buying, dear?
Buying?
Yeah, I heard you say something about barrels and barrels. Of what?
Oh, no. She wants all of us girls to go see... You're right, Ray. We're buying barrels and barrels of this stuff. Goodbye, dear.
You sent for me, Miss Bradley?
Yes, Mr. McNutley. I've been going over Miss Castle's application for the enrollment of her daughter in the school, and I believe we shall be able to take favorable action.
Well, I'm sure Miss Castle will be very happy to hear that.
Yes, we've had very few theatrical people here at Lynn Haven, and it may be very good for us. Broaden our outlook, so to speak.
Oh, I agree, Miss Bradley.
Oh, yes. And since we have the formal entrance papers ready for Miss Castle's signature, I'd like you to take them over to her.
You want me to take them to the theater?
Mr. McNutley, there's no reason you wouldn't want to, is there?
Well, No, of course not.
Oh, very well. Here they are. You can take them to her after classes this afternoon.
Thank you, Miss Bradley.
Oh, Mr. McNutley.
Yes?
Don't forget that you're a professor of a respectable woman's college and not a stage door Jimmy.
It's Johnny, Miss Bradley. Stage door Johnny.
Just a minute, buddy. How'd you sneak past me at the stage door?
I didn't sneak. I'm here to see Miss Sheila Castle.
Uh-huh. You guys never get too old, do you?
Now, see here, I'm Professor McNutley of Lynn Haven College, an old friend of Miss Castle's, and I'd like to see her right now.
Well, you can't. She's still on stage. You're an old friend, you say?
Yes.
Well, maybe it's okay then. The show's almost over. You can wait in Miss Castle's dressing room. Just tell Helga who you are.
Helga?
That's her Swedish maid. That's the dressing room right over there.
Okay, thanks. Helga? Not here. Well, I might as well sit down, and I guess it's okay to smoke my pipe in here. Ah, there's the curtain. Just like old times.
And these are two of my friends, Miss Castle, Betty Matthews, and Helen Whitney.
How do you do, Miss Castle?
Oh, how nice to see all of you, and especially Ray's wife. You are such a sweet thing, darling.
Oh, thank you, Miss Castle.
Oh, call me Sheila, pet. Oh, excuse me, girls. I have to take another curtain call. I'll only be a minute. Wait for me in my dressing room.
Do you think we should, girl?
Oh, yes, Peggy. This will be a treasured memory for all of us. Isn't this wonderful?
What's keeping Sheila? Maybe I can go out and find it.
Oh, her name must be on the dressing room door, girl.
Oh, no, Peggy and the friends. Oh, if they see me. Wait a minute. Sure, I'll hide behind that dressing screen. Now I lay me down to sleep. Now I pray.
Yes, this is it.
Oh, just think of all the famous stars who must have used this dressing room.
Yes, and imagine the world of secrets hidden in here.
Girls, do you smell smoke?
Yes.
Strong, isn't it?
Oh, terribly. Sheila must smoke those Turkish cigarettes.
Smells more like a pipe to me.
Sheila with the pipe?
Well, probably not, but the scent smells like one. I'm used to it because Ray always...
Yes, Peggy?
It's a Turkish cigarette.
Girls, do you see what I see?
What? Where?
There, on Sheila's dressing table, with all the cosmetics.
A man's hat.
Well, what about it? It's only a hat.
Girls, I think there's a man in here with us.
Oh, no.
I tell you, I can sense it. I can almost feel him. Do you think she has a lover hidden in here?
Oh, now, let's not be ridiculous.
I'll bet he's hiding in that closet with all Sheila's costumes. You mean behind that screen? Yes. Well, let's go take a look.
Girls, wait. Oh, that smoke.
What about it?
Oh, I think the building's on fire. Let's get out of here.
Fire! Oh, my goodness. Come on, quick.
Come on, Peggy, come on.
All right, Raymond McNutley. You can come out from behind that screen.
Peggy, I can explain everything.
We'll save that for later. The girls will be coming back as soon as they find out there's no fire. We got to get you out before they...
Peggy?
Quick, behind the screen.
I can't. Sheila's costumes are reeking of that awful perfume of hers. I'll get hay fever.
Ray, please, for my
All right,
sake.
all right. Look, throw me that bandana.
What, on this dressing table?
Yes, never mind. Just give it to me. Thanks.
Peggy? There's no smoke anywhere except in this dressing room.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry, girls. It must have been my imagination.
Oh, my goodness, you certainly gave us a fright.
Yeah!
What was that?
Oh, I just sneezed. I've got a hay fever.
Oh, isn't that a shame, dear?
You stop!
Well, now, that's odd. You didn't sneeze just then, and yet I distinctly heard it.
Oh, that was my echo.
An echo? Well, it wouldn't take that long to...
Oh, it would, too. You know, sound travels slower at low altitudes.
Well, you certainly zoomed up fast on that one. Yes, and the echo came from behind that screen.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry to be so long, darlings. After the curtain calls, there were newspaper photographers.
Miss Castle, we think you should know there's somebody hiding behind your dressing screen. My dressing screen?
Oh, now, please, girls.
Look, there's somebody's head sticking over the top right now. Yes, and wearing a bandana.
All right, come out from behind there, whoever you are.
Oh.
I've been glad to meet you all.
Who are you? And what are you doing in my marabou robe?
Abe Ben Helga's cousin, ma'am. Abe Ben her cousin Dagmar.
But where is Helga?
She Ben got the miseries, ma'am. I ain't used helping her out.
Well, that's the queerest Swedish accent I ever heard. It sounds almost southern.
Yeah, Abe Ben from the deep south of the far north. Ayana Rancho Grande. I used on my way there now. Goodbye.
Dagmar, come back here with my robe.
Hey, Ben, sorry, ma'am. Hey, Ben got a date south of the border. Ayana Rancho Grande. Ayana
Ray's usual good taste in clothes generally doesn't run to marabou robes. But speaking of good taste, ladies, how does your television set look when it's turned off? Well, if it's a General Electric, it expresses your own good taste. GE TVs are crafted in handsome fruit woods, in mahogany, in oak, and walnut, in native hardwoods and veneers. There are designs for every style of decoration. Comb grain white oak for contemporary living rooms. Rich, dark-figured mahogany models that complement the traditional. And GE wood cabinets are all wood, too. That means finer appearance and sturdier construction, and it assures better tone, too. And gentlemen, when you turn your GE on, you'll see the picture voted clearest by 7-1 by over 100,000 TV shoppers. Folks like you and me who made side-by-side showdowns of all leading makes. Voted best 7-1. Isn't that the set you want? And now back to the Ray Milland Show. Meet Mr. McNutley.
Oh, without a doubt, Peggy, that was the most embarrassing afternoon of my life.
Well, it didn't have to be, darling. I know you went to the theater on business. Why hide behind Sheila's screen?
Well, honey, when I saw you and your entourage descending on me, 5,000 years of civilization simply fell away. Primordial instinct just took over.
Who'd be calling at this hour?
Good evening, Peggy.
Oh, Betty, come in.
Well, what brings you by, Miss Matthews?
I came to return this hat, Professor.
Oh.
Yes, I found it in Miss Castle's dressing room, and I knew the professor wouldn't want to lose it.
Miss Matthews, what gave you the idea that this is my hat?
The initials are in it. R.M.
I see. Now, will you allow me to put on the hat, please?
Oh, well, of course. It's yours.
Now, does it fit my head, Miss Matthews?
Good heavens. Doesn't fit you at all. Sits right on top of your head.
Miss Matthews, I trust you will eventually find the rightful owner.
Well, I just don't know what to say, Mr. McNutley.
Well, I think good night would be in order, and please take the hat with you.
Yes. Good night, Professor. Peggy.
Ray, how did you do it? I know that was your hat. I bought it myself.
Yeah. But did you ever see me wear it?
No?
Because I couldn't. It was at least 3 sizes too small.
Oh, no.
I didn't tell you about it because, well, I just couldn't bring myself to hurt your feelings.
Really? You thought that much of me?
Honey, you know the way I feel about you. They can take all the Sheila Castles in the world
No, darling, come here and get kissed. Chubby Wubbikins. Dagmar. Just, come and get it.
Ray Milland will be back in just a moment. Tonight's show was adapted for radio by Leonard St. Clair from a television show by Joe Connolly and Bob Mosher and was directed by Joe Rhines. The Ray Milland Show is a review production. Every week, GE Radios and GE Television bring you transcribed the General Electric Comedy Theater starring Ray Milland in Meet Mr. McNutley on both radio and TV. Consult your newspaper for time and station. Now, here's Ray Milland.
Thank you, Del. Join the McNutleys next week and every week on radio and television. You'll enjoy the shows best with a GE clock radio and a GE TV with Ultravision. So give them a look at your GE dealers. They're a friend of mine. Good night.
In tonight's cast were Verna Pelton, Joan Banks, Mary Jane Croft, Gene Vanderpyle, and Charlie Cantor. And this is Del Sharbutt speaking.
Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, enjoyed her vacation during the holidays just as much as any other teacher. But as it drew to a close, she had a peculiar reaction.
Although I felt that my vacation had done me a lot of good, now that it was over, I was keyed up and enthusiastic, simply raring to go. Raring to go on another 2 weeks vacation. Meanwhile, I went about the business of getting used to working again and spent the past week noticing conditions which hadn't seemed so deplorable during the hustle and bustle of holiday time at the school. I was telling my landlady, Mrs. Davis, about them while we were having breakfast Friday morning.
Let me pour you a cup of this coffee, Connie. It's Rio de Janeiro style. I just got the recipe.
Rio de Janeiro style?
Yes. I mashed up a few Brazil nuts and mixed them with the coffee ground. That's one reason why the blonde hair of a Brazilian is so outstanding.
But, Mrs. Davis, very few Brazilians have blonde hair.
That's another reason it's so outstanding. But I'm afraid I've interrupted something you started to say to me, Connie.
Oh, it wasn't very important. I had just said that
I really shouldn't do that. It's a habit I picked up from my brother Victor. He's terribly absent-minded.
I thought your sister Angela was the absent-minded one in the family.
Angela?
Yes, that's what you told me.
What did I tell you?
That she was very absent-minded.
Who?
Your brother Victor.
Now, how did you know that? You've never even met Victor. But he is confused sometimes, poor dear. Why, you could be talking about something to Victor and he'd seem as interested as could be in the conversation. But then if you just looked away for a moment, it could be right in the middle of a sentence that...
Yes, Mrs. Davis? Mrs. Davis? You, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, good morning, Connie. I was just looking for the cat out in the kitchen. She hasn't touched her milk.
What do you hear from Victor?
Victor? Oh, my brother. Oh, he's fine, thank you, dear. He calls me quite regularly. My sister Angela's the one that worries me. She's the absent-minded member of the family. But I keep feeling that I disrupted your train of thought. Did I, Connie?
There's not a car left on the tracks but the caboose. I was merely telling you, Mrs. Davis, that I never realized how bad conditions were at school until this cold spell set in. Why, my classroom is so drafty that half my pupils can't answer questions because their teeth are chattering.
That must be awful. Young people have such loud teeth.
Yes, sometimes my room sounds like a dice game on a tin roof.
Have you talked to the principal about it?
Not yet, but I'm going to today. He's just got to get the Board of Education to allot us a bigger budget for coal.
Well, I wish you luck, dear. Is, Walter Denton picking you up this morning?
Yes, Mrs. Davis.
Oh, good. Connie, I'd like to apologize again for interrupting you before. As I say, I've been a little worried about my eccentric brother, Victor. Before you go, though...
Yes?
Goodbye, Connie.
Goodbye, Mrs. Davis. And by the way, Mrs. Davis...
Yes, Connie. Yes, Connie, Why, she's gone. Poor thing. She's been under a terrible strain lately.
I'm glad you picked me up early, Walter. I've got to stop in and see Mr. Conklin before my first class.
Oh, golly, Miss Brooks, there must be some pleasanter way to start off a Friday morning for a perfectly nice English teacher.
Yes, there must be.
Oh, it isn't that I don't respect Mr. Conklin. It's just that, there's something about you, Miss Brooks, that, before the hallowed walls of our beloved Madison High heaves into view, I want you to know that...
Just a minute, Walter. Would you mind taking that sentence again a little slower?
I nearly exclaimed, before the hallowed walls of our beloved Madison High heaves into view.
That's what I thought you exclaimed.
Anything wrong, Miss Brooks?
Well, frankly, Walter, I'd hesitate to correct that sentence without stopping at Teachers College for a refresher course. But what do you mean by heaves into view?
Well, every so often you read about a ship that hove into view, don't you?
Yes.
Well, hove must be the past tense, mustn't it? Heave, haved, hove, isn't it?
Oh, of course not, Walter. Heave, heaved, haved, heave, haved. What do you want me to know before Madison High heaves into view?
That you command as much respect as Mr. Conklin, plus the admiration of the entire student body, and that your personal warmth and charm is only exceeded by your excellence in your chosen field of instruction.
Ain't it the truth? I don't want to seem unduly inquisitive, Walter, but to what do I owe this verbal plaque?
Nothing. It's just a natural reaction. Completely spontaneous and unrehearsed.
And what did you get from our sponsor when you were selected as a contestant?
A pen and pencil set that's guaranteed... Oh, no, that's not fair. No, I'm being completely sincere and have no ulterior motive whatsoever.
Then thank you, Walter.
Oh, that's okay. Miss Brooks?
Yes?
Would you do me a favor?
If I say no, you'll take back the plaque. Well, what is it?
Well, it's a basketball team. As you know, I'm the new manager, so it's up to me to see Mr. Conklin about getting some things that we need immediately.
And?
And it's up to you to see Mr. Conklin for me, because I'm rarely up to seeing Mr. Conklin. What I mean is that we've just got to get some more trunks.
Where are you going?
Oh, we're not going anywhere. No, we need stuff for the guys to put on while they're playing. You see, right now, every time we send in a substitute, he has to take a blanket along with him and change trunks with the fella he's replacing. About 10 pairs should do fine.
10 pairs? Why don't you just get a larger blanket?
Oh, no, this is serious, Miss Brooks. Oh, another thing you've got to talk to Mr. Conklin about for me is the temperature in the gym. It's so cold in there, a good humor man has to referee the game. Of course, I'm exaggerating, Miss Brooks.
I know, Walter, but, A, just what do you want me to ask Mr. Conklin? And B, why should it be me instead of you?
Well, A, to requisition $100 worth of equipment for the basketball team from the school board, and B, because you're older and carry more weight.
And C, if we were driving in my car, you'd be walking by now.
Well, you don't understand, Miss Brooks. I'm not trying to shirk my duties, but... Oh, this is a legitimate beef. Let me put it this way. In the stockyards, when they want the sheep to run a certain way, they don't send a little lamb out to guide them. They send an old goat. I mean, you've seen it in the newsreels, I'm sure, where the goat and the... Gosh, I hope you're not mad, Miss Brooks.
Oh, forget it, Walter. Why should I be mad?
Then you'll do do it? You'll ask Mr. Conklin for me?
I'll do my best. Now, you'd better start putting on your brakes.
My brakes?
Yes, the hallowed walls are hiving into view.
Ladies, regardless of age, skin type, or previous beauty care, doctors prove you, too, may win a lovelier complexion with Palmolive soap.
But to win this lovelier complexion, the kind men admire and women envy, you must stop improper cleansing. Instead, use Palmolive soap the way doctors advised.
Remember, 36 doctors, leading skin specialists, advised 1,285 women, many with complexion problems, to use Palmolive this way. Some have dry skin, some oily, some coarse-looking. Using Palmolive soap alone, 2 out of 3 won lovelier complexions. Now, here's what the doctors advise.
Wash your face with Palmolive soap. Massaging for 1 minute with Palmolive's soft lather. This cleansing massage brings your skin Palmolive's full beautifying effect. Rinse. Do this 3 times a day for 14 days.
It's that simple. But doctors have proved this way, using nothing but Palmolive, really works. So forget other beauty care. Use Palmolive soap alone for a lovelier complexion.
For loveliness all over, use big, thrifty bath-size Palmolive in your tub or shower.
Well, here we are at school, Miss Brooks. If you will kindly disembark, I'll find a place to park and then return for a joust with the forces of education.
If I was a gambler, Walter, I'd bet on you to place. Oh, there's Harriet Conklin. I think I'll ask her what kind of a mood her father's in.
Okay, Miss Brooks. I'll see you later.
Just a minute, Harriet. I'd like to talk to you.
Oh, hello, Miss Brooks. I'm glad we ran into each other.
Same here. Harriet, did you have breakfast with your father this morning?
Well, yes, I did.
How was he? His temper, I mean.
Pretty good, Miss Brooks. Until Mother showed him some of the bills that had come in.
Then what did he do?
Nothing unusual. He just slammed down his paper, bit through his coffee cup, and left. It could have been worse.
Sure, he could have bitten your mother.
That's one of the reasons I'm glad we ran into each other. Miss Brooks, did I ever tell you what an unending source of inspiration you are?
Oh, I must end somewhere.
I mean it, Miss Brooks. You're more than just an excellent instructor of English. You're...
I'm the patsy who's going to face your father with one of your problems.
All this and psychic, too. How did you know I wanted you to talk to Daddy for me, Miss Brooks?
Well, why should you be an exception, Harriet? What's your beef? Complaint?
The domestic science room. It's like a deep freeze.
That room, too?
It's so cold that most of us wear gloves all during the class. Makes it very awkward, Miss Brooks. Especially when we're trying to use the sewing machine.
Sounds pretty bad.
Bad? It's terrible. Yesterday, Bessie Snyder sewed 5 of her fingers together.
Oh, what's so terrible about that? Gives you an extra ladle for the cooking class.
It broke the sewing machine, and we need $200 for a new one.
Oh, but Harriet...
Miss Brooks, it's up to you to make conditions in this school livable.
For you, you mean? I'd better be armed with plenty of facts before I face your father, though. I think I'll make a survey of the rest of the rooms.
Starting with Mr. Boynton's biology laboratory?
Now who's psychic? Yes, Harriet, I think I'll interview the shy master of the microbes.
I've been in there, Miss Brooks. It's even colder than the other rooms. I hope you can do something about it.
I should be able to, with the experience I've had.
Well, what do you mean, Miss Brooks?
I've been trying to thaw Mr. Boynton out for years.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, it's you, Miss Brooks. How do you feel this morning?
Cold, thanks, especially in here. Where do you hang your sides of beef, Mr. Boynton?
Oh, this kind of silly as that. I was going to ask Mr. Conklin about the heating situation, but now that you're here, I wondered if you would...
Naturally.
You better slip this coat on. Even your voice is shivery.
No, this outfit I'm wearing is fairly warm. I've got 4 sweaters on, you know.
Really? Where?
Let's not get racy, Mr. Boynton.
Sorry, Miss Brooks. I didn't mean anything personal.
You never do.
The situation is pretty bad. Now, take my prize frog, McDougal, for instance. He's had a sore throat for weeks. And now, with this cold spell, I'm afraid he's developing sinus trouble. Oh, here's his cage right here.
Hello, Mac. How do you feel? Gesundheit. Have a Kleenex, Mac. You're welcome.
It's no wonder he's sick. Look at the tank he's in. No provisions for heating or water at all. This morning, his breakfast was frozen 2 inches from his nose. By the time he did eat, he had indigestion.
That's really awful, Mr. Boynton. This equipment is pretty obsolete. What's this bowl here? Oh, these must be some new fish. What's the name of these pretty blue ones, Mr. Boynton?
Goldfish. They're just cold.
They could slap their fins together. Oh, look at these cute little guinea pigs. Now, they're what I call sensible animals. Look how they huddle together for warmth in their cage. You know, Mr. Boynton, you and I could keep kind of warm that way, too.
Oh, no, we couldn't, Miss Brooks. We could never fit into a cage that size.
Well, no, but it would be fun trying to. Look, Mr. Boynton, about what do you estimate it would cost for new equipment for this lab?
Oh, a couple of $100, roughly. $150 if you smooth it out. That's a sort of a joke, Miss Brooks. First I said roughly, and then $150 if you smooth it out.
Oh. That's a Lulu.
I know another one, but I wish you'd stop me if you've heard it. It's about this group of people.
I've heard it.
You have? The one about the group of people who are all discussing something in a very animated manner, and suddenly they stop, and this one fellow says, "Is anybody eating a lifesaver?" And somebody else says, "Why?" And the first chap says, "Because there's a hole in the conversation." Is that the one you've heard?
No, I heard a different one. Tell yours.
Well, it's about... I just did tell it, Miss Brooks.
Oh, so you did, Mr. Boynton, and a little beauty it was, too. But I better get ready for my first class now. I'll see Mr. Conklin at the beginning of lunch period.
Well, it's awfully nice of you to do this, Miss Brooks. Will you have lunch with me afterwards?
Oh, I'd love to, Mr. Boynton.
And, Miss Brooks, please don't even bring your purse with you. It only embarrasses me when you try to pay your own check in the cafeteria.
All right, Mr. Boynton. I'll leave my bag in my desk.
Fine. When I see you to your room, I can pick up what you owe me.
That's a good one, too. What am I laughing at? He's not kidding. Let's see this list now. Weather stripping for my room, $50. Basketball team equipment, $100. New sewing machine, about $200. And biology lab equipment, $150. Total $500. Of course, that's without the additional coal we'll have to get. Well, here goes.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Conklin. I just wanted to
Sit down a moment, Miss Brooks. I'm speaking on the phone.
Yes, sir.
So you see, Miss Stanhope, this senseless extravagance has got to stop. Why, do you realize that your art class used up 3 more drawing pencils this month than last? What do you think the school board is made of? Money? What? How can you cut down? Tell the students not to sharpen them so often. And remember, Miss Stanhope, it isn't the 50 cents involved that's important. It's the money. Get on the ball and let's start cutting down expenses around here. Good day. Now, what do you want?
Happy New Year, Mr. Conklin. I just happened to be passing your office, and I thought I'd stop in and say hello.
Hello. Now, if you'll excuse me, I was just going to lunch.
But, Mr. Conklin, you don't want to go up to that drafty cafeteria.
What do you mean, drafty?
Oh, it is. It's almost as bad as the schoolrooms.
What?
And the gym and the biology laboratory and the domestic science room, in which your own daughter Harriet is at this very moment shivering and shaking while she sews her gloved fingers together on the sewing machine which Bessie Snyder broke. There, I said it, and I'm glad.
If you're angling for another vacation, Miss Brooks, the answer is no. Now compose yourself and talk like a rational human being.
Well, it's like this, Mr. Conklin. If we could get a larger appropriation from the school...
A larger appropriation? Miss Brooks, let me tell you what I was planning when you so fortuitously entered my office. I was planning on a general revision of expenses, an economy wave the likes of which this school has never seen. For example, you will in the future direct your pupils to use half as much chalk.
You mean no more capital letters?
Exactly. And this building, it's kept like a hothouse. I intend to cut way down on the supply of coal we're wasting.
Wasting? But...
Don't butt me, young woman.
Oh, I can't help it. I'm the goat that was picked for the job. not a question of a lot of money, Mr. Conklin. And the temperature of the school is very important.
It certainly is. And I find it extremely comfortable for the most part. But why are you wearing your overcoat?
It's just a silly quirk of mine, Mr. Conklin. I'm trying to break up an ice jam in my arteries.
Oh, nonsense. And take off those gloves. And I wish you'd stop smoking while you're talking to me.
I'm not smoking. I'm just breathing.
Well, cut it out. That's the trouble with people nowadays. They're all mollycoddle, softies. Why, when I think of our forefathers at Valley Forge, dragging cannons through the snow with their feet wrapped in rags, it's enough to make my blood boil.
Well, it wouldn't boil in my room. Look, Mr. Conklin, if you don't care about people, think of the poor little animals in Mr. Boynton's laboratory.
What's wrong with them?
The white mice can't run around on the treadmill without snowshoes. McDougal doesn't know whether to croak, sneeze, or hiccup. So he does all three, and it's pretty depressing.
Well, then don't listen to it.
And how about the basketball team? Walter Denton says that every time one of his substitutes goes into a game, he has to hide behind a trunk while they're changing blankets. And just think, $100 would remedy the entire situation.
$100?
Plus $200 for a new sewing machine, $50 for weather stripping my room, and $150 for warmer tanks and better equipment in the biology lab. $500 is all you have to requisition from the board, plus some added money for coal. And if you'll sharpen the sword, I'll fall on it on my way out.
Miss Brooks, I'm going to try to control myself. I'm going to walk over to that window and look out of it. A moment later, I'm going to turn around, and you will have gone quietly out of the door. That's better. $500 indeed.
Plus coal.
Get out!
The cafeteria was pretty crowded today. Young Denton here invited us to share his table.
Sure, sit down, Miss Brooks. Want me to get you a tray?
Thanks, Walter, but I haven't time to eat right now. I've just left Mr. Conklin's office, and he's flatly refused to requisition a penny from the school board.
But the temperature, my animals, McDougal's toes are frostbitten now.
And how about my basketball team? We got a very important home game on tomorrow night, and that gym is just icy. Oh, we got to do something, Miss Brooks. We just got to get some more coal into this building.
Well, maybe we could start an airlift. No, I guess not. Wait a minute. The only way to make Mr. Conklin see the necessity of improving the coal situation is to pretend we're all coming down with colds.
You mean go into his office sneezing and coughing and all?
Exactly. He won't dare face a school board investigation if he thinks an epidemic is starting. Besides, I happen to know he's quite a hypochondriac when it comes to contagious germs.
But if we really don't have colds, it'd be lying to say we have, wouldn't it?
It's a white lie for the common good, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, but you know what happens to me when I tell a falsehood. I have a psychosomatic symptom that causes me to hiccup.
Well, we'll have to take that chance. Think of McDougal, Mr. Boynton, and those blue goldfish swimming around depending on you to do something.
I'll do it, Miss Brooks. I'll be darned if I don't. Oh, I beg your pardon.
Oh, forget it, Mr. Boynton. In a crisis like this, even I resort to profanity. Oh, fudge.
Come in. Mr. Conklin, I got a bad cold.
What?
It's in by Joe's and Ed, mostly.
Turn around, Boynton. Don't you know those germs travel? How long have you had this cold?
Oh, for a long time. Achoo!
You caught something from that wretched frog of yours. Now go take some aspirin, go home early, do something, but get out of this office at once.
But, Mr. Conklin, if my laboratory was a little bit warmer...
I'll talk to you after you've recovered, Boynton.
Fine, Mr. Conklin. Thank you, sir. Achoo!
Better open the window and clear the air in this room. That's better. Come in.
It's me, Mr. Conklin. Water deaded.
What do you want, Denton?
As manager of the basketball team, I'd like to request a warmer gym.
A what?
A warmer gym to play in. It's freezing in there. I very cold.
You too? Well, cover your face when you sneeze.
We got a very important game to play tomorrow, and we need some heat badly.
Peace. Well, if you've got such a bad cold, Denton, you'd better not come round to the game tomorrow.
What?
I'll be there, and I'll appoint another manager.
But I'm not that sick, Mr. Conklin. Gosh, I feel great.
I
think I know what you mean, Denton. This is all a scheme to get me to ask the board for more money. And I think I know who put you up to it, too.
She did not. Oh, that is...
Come in, Miss Brooks.
How did you know it was me, Mr. Conklin?
I heard you rehearsing your sneeze.
Gee, you look great, Miss Brooks. Never saw you looking better.
Thank you, Walter.
You couldn't possibly have a cold or anything the way you look. Know what I mean?
Keep talking, Denton. I don't mind.
Why, what's the matter with you, Walter? I've a terrible cold in my chest and my head. It's from my room, Mr. Conklin.
Mr. Conklin, if that is the stream, you sure do a funny imitation of a person with a cold, Miss Brooks.
What do you mean, imitation?
Sure. Everybody knows you're just fooling.
Among my own pupils, a stool pigeon.
I knew this was all a plot, Miss Brooks, and I'm ashamed of you. Why, just because there's a little fresh air circulating through the school. Good fresh air. You throw a fit. Our forefathers should see you now. Those men at Valley Forge dragging the cannon through the snow with rags tied around their feet. Why, when I think of those...
The door was open, so I just came on in, Daddy.
Oh, what is it, Harriet?
I talked to Mother on the phone a little while ago, and her back's bothering her a bit. She'd like the heating pad.
What heating pad?
The one you've got under the cushion you're sitting on. Here's the plug back here. Now, if you'll just get up a minute. There we are. I'll take it home to Mother right away.
Where in the world did that thing come from?
From Valley Forge, of course. The boys must have got some hot rags for their feet. Well, Mr. Conklin recommended the necessary expenditures to the school board and personally ordered some coal immediately. I thought it was a very sportsmanlike and unselfish gesture, and I started to tell him so when I met him in the hall. Mr. Conklin, I think it was very nice of you to tackle this problem so promptly.
Thanks, Miss Brooks. But I wasn't prompt enough. I'm getting pneumonia.
Oh, what's the difference, Mr. Conklin? As long as you've got your health.
Oh, you didn't tell me. Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Oh, sure.
What are they?
You're not supposed to tell, are you?
Oh, sure.
I know one I can tell. In fact, that's part of the resolution. To tell millions and millions more people that the solid silver with beauty that lives forever is international sterling.
Silver with beauty that lives forever is International Sterling. From Hollywood, International Silver Company, creators of International Sterling, presents The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, starring America's favorite young couple, Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard. Since the dawn of recorded history, mankind has greeted the arrival of the new year with celebrations and rejoicing. 5,000 years ago, on New Year's Eve, a famous Egyptian said... And so it goes. A new year is born, and the old year takes its place on the pages of history. And in everybody's mind is an acute awareness of the passage of time.
Did we get any 1949 calendars yet, Harriet?
Oh, if you mean the ones in the garage, it's over there on the table.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, they're using a different girl this year. She isn't wearing much for January, is she? Wonder how she keeps warm.
Well, those looks you're giving her must help a little.
Hey, look here. Take a look at February. See, things start to get interesting. She's taking off her gloves.
When you get to June, don't expect anything. I tore that one out. You want more coffee?
Yeah, thanks. You know, I have a feeling 1949 is going to be a very nice year.
Started off very well.
Yeah, I thought so. In fact, that was one of the best New Year's Eve parties I've ever been to.
It was a lot of fun. There's only one thing I didn't like about it. I don't like the idea of teaming the men against the women.
Oh, you mean in the word game?
Mm-hmm.
Well, naturally, you didn't like it because the wives lost.
Well, no, not that. I just don't think it's fair to make the wives compete against their husbands.
Well, I understand how you feel. We really trounced you, didn't we?
Well, if you put it that way, maybe we just didn't try as hard as the men.
Oh, sure, that's the answer. You let us win. The wives were so much in love with their husbands that you let us win.
I didn't say that. I simply said that maybe we didn't try as hard as you men.
Oh, I don't think we tried especially hard. In fact, it seemed to me we won pretty easily. You tried hard, but we were a little smarter.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, dear. Some of the girls thought we made it too obvious.
No. You fooled me completely.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Pop. Hi.
Hello, boys. Boys, let me give you a word of fatherly advice. Never let yourselves get drawn into competition with girls.
Guy, Pop, you don't think we play with girls, do you?
Oh, no? What about the spelling match?
When was that?
Oh, he means at the school Christmas party. We stood the girls in a spelling match.
Oh, and naturally the girls didn't try very hard, so the boys won hands down.
Oh, no, they beat the pants office.
Gee, I don't remember that part.
The girls actually won fair and square?
Yeah, they were just too much for us. We didn't stand a chance.
Oh, I'm surprised, David. That's no attitude to take. Let's examine just why the girls won. Is it because they're brighter than you? No. More alert? No. Have more knowledge? No.
Isn't that funny? I would have said yes to all those things.
Well, let's get to the real reason the girls won.
I know. Girls don't have as much to worry about as we do.
Well, not only that, maybe you were just being nice to the girls and tried to lose the spelling match.
We didn't have to try to lose. It was the easiest thing I've ever done.
I don't like girls anyway.
Ricky's a little sore on account of what happened at Susie Dunkel's party. The girls insisted on playing post office.
Fooey.
Sounds as if you boys had quite a party.
Julie Thornberry said she had a letter for Ricky. She sure canceled his stamp.
Yeah. Why does she want to kiss me? She's got a cat. Let her kiss that.
Come to think of it, the girls won all the prizes at that party, too.
Of all the dopey games, pin the tail on the donkey. Fooey.
It's no wonder you didn't like it. Next time, don't insist on being the donkey.
Well, don't worry about it, boys. As soon as the girls get a little older, they'll let you boys win all the prizes. See, that's a little trick that the women use to make the men think they're smarter. At least that's what your mother says.
Not much sense in being a boy these days, is there? Come on, Rick. Let's throw the ball around.
You know, it might be fun to have a spelling match at our next party.
Oh, sure. And I suppose the wives would just murder the poor husbands. I tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a word right now you can't spell. An easy one, too. Spell glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel? Glockenspiel. Was I wrong? Huh? Was I right? Well, all right. How do you spell glockenspiel?
Well, let's be fair. Don't give me the same word.
Hi, Oz.
Oh, hello, Thorny.
Care to join me in carrying out this barrel of ashes?
No, thanks. You sure keeping the basement cleaned up? The New Year's resolution?
In a way. Catherine made it for me.
Women are sure hard to understand.
Ah, it's impossible.
Harriet and I were talking about the New Year's Eve party, over at the Randolphs.
Oh, did you get a little lecture, too?
No. Harriet and I were just talking about the games we played.
I should think she'd want to keep that quiet. Women didn't win a darn thing. Pretty solid proof of male superiority, I'd say.
I know this is perfectly silly, Thorny, but has it ever occurred to you that women might lose to men on purpose?
You have a fever, Oz?
No, I'm serious. Women are pretty strange. They might just do a thing like that, just to make the husbands feel superior. Sort of butter us up.
Well, that doesn't make sense, Oz. At least not right after Christmas.
Well, and how do you explain the fact that women are such good losers? They lose all the time and they still smile.
Oh, look, Oz, women lose, they smile. But they have their own little ways of getting even with us for beating them. They're clever, Oz, devilishly clever. I beat Catherine a little game of gin rummy the other night, and what did she do? Turned off my side of the electric blanket, and I nearly froze to death.
Maybe you're right. I wonder if that was just Harriet's way of getting even with me, trying to make me think the girl's lost on purpose.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Oz. And the dangerous part of it is it's little things like that cause a man to lose control of the reins in his own home.
Oh, Thorny, I don't think it's that important.
Okay, Oz. But if I were you, I'd get the upper hand again before it's too late. The husband has got to keep control of the household. Why don't you go in there and involve Harriet in some sort of competition and beat her fair and square?
Hey, maybe you're right. Certainly can't do any harm. No, I'll just challenge her to some sort of a contest and beat her.
Right.
Now, what's something I'm sure to win at?
Yeah. How about growing a mustache faster than she can?
Tony, it's got to be something she has a chance at. See, I know checkers. It's a good game, and I don't think she's ever played it. By golly, Thorny, I'll prove to her I'm a better man than she is. Harriet.
Yes, dear?
How about a little game of checkers?
Oh, I have to do the dishes, dear.
Oh, come on. Just one game of checkers.
All right, we'll play kitchen checkers. You take the dirty saucers, and I'll take the dirty cups, and we'll move them around the dishpan.
You don't understand, Harriet. I happen to feel like a little competition. I'll bet I can toss a penny closer to the edge of the linoleum than you can.
I don't want to play games, dear.
You mean you don't want to be beaten? You must have seen my high school yearbook. Probably read how good I was at pitching pennies.
Here, why don't you have a cookie? That'll keep you quiet.
Oh, boy, chocolate. Why don't you have one, too?
They do look good.
I could eat a dozen of them.
So could I.
I'll bet I can eat more cookies than you can.
I'll bet you can, too. Are you trying to draw me into some sort of competition?
Not necessarily. How about some ping pong?
No thanks, dear.
I'll give you an advantage. I'll play left-handed.
No thanks.
I'll play blindfolded.
No thanks.
Without a paddle.
No.
Doubled up with my head between my legs. I'll be the ball.
No, dear.
Well, I don't blame you. It is sort of useless for a woman to compete with a man.
Yes, it is, dear.
You mean you don't disagree with that statement I just made?
No, I think you're right.
Well, let's shake hands. That's it. Now put your foot against my foot, like this. Now this is what's known as Indian hand wrestle.
You want another pillow under your head?
No, thanks.
You want to sit over here in your easy chair?
No, thank you, dear. I'm very comfortable lying here on the couch.
You aren't angry with me, are you?
Why should I be? You didn't throw me. I slipped.
I'm sorry. That soap just squished out of my hand when you grabbed me. I hope you didn't loosen a vertebrae.
I landed right on the base of my spine. The lower part. It could have pushed my spinal column right straight up. I'd have one horn on my head.
Would you like me to fill up your hot water bottle again?
No, thanks. I haven't finished drinking this yet. What are you knitting?
Pair of socks.
Is it difficult to knit a pair of socks?
Not once you've learned. You aren't thinking of taking it up, are you?
Just making conversation. Just for the fun of it, show me how you do it. Just give me an idea.
Well, roughly it's like this. You take one needle and loop the yarn over like this. Then you slide it off. That's knit. And then you reverse the process like this. And then slide these loops off. That's purl.
Hand it to me. I'll show you how fast I pick up stuff.
Oh, careful.
Just loop it over like this, and you slide these off. Where did everything go?
Yeah, that was fast, dear. It took me an hour to do what you undoed in 2 seconds.
What did I do?
You unraveled it.
It certainly is delicate. How does it stay together in a sweater? You know, I never realized what nerve it takes for a woman to wear a sweater. How long did it take me to knit a pair of socks?
Too long. Give the needles back there.
Oh, sure, I couldn't possibly knit a pair of socks as fast as you could.
Of course you couldn't.
I was hoping you'd say that.
What do you mean?
I think we've got ourselves a little contest.
Oh, Ozzy, you couldn't.
Shall we begin? Just get me some needles. All I want you to do is show me how it's done. And I may as well warn you, be prepared for a fight. When I was at Boy Scout camp, I learned to make a straw hat in 1 hour.
But, Ozzy, that isn't like making a sock.
It looked like one.
Well, I'll show you how, dear, but let's not make it a contest.
I'm afraid I might finish my sock sooner than you'll finish yours.
No, I'm afraid you might knit yourself into a bag and suffocate.
What irony. Beating Harriet at her own game. This will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that men are superior to women.
Superior, men or women? Now, there's an argument I don't want any part of. No, sir. Instead, let's you and I have a little discussion about prices. Don't mention that word out loud, did you say? Well, just wait till you hear the happy news about international sterling prices. They haven't gone up a bit. That's right. International sterling prices have not gone up in 4 years. Other leading silver people have raised their prices, but your favorite international sterling pattern costs the same as it did in 1944. And you get more for your money when you buy famous international sterling, too. For instance, by getting 8 place settings in international sterling's lovely prelude pattern, rather than some other sterling, you save about $20. And that $20 will buy you those 8 additional teaspoons to complete your service. What's more, you know, when you own international sterling, you own it for life. Its beauty and richness grow warmer and lovelier all through your lifetime. So visit your international sterling dealer tomorrow. See and plan to own the solid silver with beauty that lives forever. International Sterling. See that man? The one so seriously engrossed in the work before him? That's Ozzie Nelson, one-time holder of the title Man. You know what's running through his mind? He's wondering which is the superior towel in the bathroom, his or hers. At present, he's engaged in a bitter struggle, the struggle of a man determined to maintain his dignity and to preserve his rightful place as head of the household. Note the square jaw, the steely blue eyes, the look of determination, the look of a man ready to fight. A fair fight, yes, but a tough one.
Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl... Come on in, Thorny.
I just came over... Well, Mother McCree.
I'm knitting.
Oh. Are you expecting a cuddly little visitor?
No, I wasn't, but as long as you're here, sit down.
I know it's January, but if you want some strawberries, I'll go get them for you.
Don't make fun of me, Thorny. You suggested I get into a contest with Harriet, and this is it. A sock knitting contest. Push the book over closer, will you, Thorny?
Oh, knitting instructions. Item 1, knit. Item 2, purl. What are you doing, Oz? Item 1 or item 2?
Item 3, untangling the mess. Let's see. Move hands together, keeping needles and fingers in motion. That's it. Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl one. Needles working harmoniously. action of the fingers nicely synchronized. Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl one. How do you like that, Thorny?
Oh, that's very good, Oz. Now let's see you try it with the yarn.
See, that's the trouble. It works perfectly till I try it with the yarn.
But try it again. Maybe I can find out what's wrong.
Well, just follow me along in the book there. Now, I grasped the yarn with my left hand. I slipped the needle through the loop. Now, with the right hand, I pulled the yarn over the left and slipped the needle through. Now, I crossed the yarn over the right hand and slipped the needle through.
Now what?
Now, if you'll untie my hands, I'll continue. It happens every time.
Hey, let me see what it says here.
It says, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, I think I see what I'm doing wrong. Through, over, slide, under, through, slide. Say, I've got it. Knit one, purl one.
That's the old fight. Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl one.
It's just sort of a knack.
Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl one. Oz, I knew you could do it. Atta girl, Oz.
Look at me,
Come on, Oz, keep going. Knit one, purl one.
Purl one.
Knit one, purl one.
Knit one, purl one. Knit. Item 3 again. It's no use, Thorny. Just look at this.
Oh, don't give up now, Oz. You were doing great.
Well, I'll give it one more try. Put it through here. Loop over the yarn. Slide the needle down. Under here. Over there. Easy does it. Knit one, purl one. Knit one, purl one. Yeah, knit one, purl one.
Oh, you're a devil with those needles.
Purl. So you're sitting on my ball of yarn.
Oh, sorry, I wondered what that was moving around.
Knit one, purl one.
Knit one, purl one.
Knit one, purl one.
That's it. Good ball.
Knit one, purl one.
Keep it up, Oz.
Knit one, purl one.
I have to go.
See you later.
Do not give up.
I won't purl one.
Not Ozzy.
Goodbye, Thorny. Knit one, purl one. Knit two, purl two.
Hi, Pop.
Knit. Oh, hi, fellas. I didn't hear you come in.
What are you doing, Pop?
Now, that's a silly question. See these needles flying? What does it look like I'm doing?
Bleeding to death.
Hand me one of those Band-Aids. I happen to be knitting a pair of socks.
What part of the sock is that you're working on? Gee, it isn't the toe, and it doesn't look like the heel.
Well, it started out to be the heel, but it was a little too small, so I decided to make it the toe, but it was a little too big, so it's going to be the coin pocket.
The coin pocket? I never heard of socks with a coin pocket.
Well, I think these will have them. Anyway, neatness doesn't count in the contest.
What contest, Pop?
Oh, it's just a little contest your mother and I are having to see who can knit a pair of socks faster.
See, David? Pop's just like me.
What do you mean, Ricky?
Oh, he's been challenging all the girls to games ever since they beat us in the spelling match.
Oh?
He even challenged Mary Benson to Indian hand wrestling.
Oh, really? What happened?
I slipped. I bet Mom will be awful embarrassed if you beat her, huh, Pop?
Oh, I don't think so, David.
Do you think she'll cry?
Don't be silly. Your mother doesn't cry.
Oh, yes, she does, Pop. She cries sometimes, but she never lets you see her. Is that because she loves you so much, Pop?
Well, I suppose so.
I don't think she'll cry this time. She'll feel awful bad, but she's brave, boy. I wish I was as brave as Mom. Ricky was even crying in the movies the other day. Oh, yeah, wise guy?
Now, look, boys, You don't understand this. You see, I'm not trying to make your mother cry. This is just a little friend. Oh, darn these needles. Hand me another one of those Band-Aids, will you? 2 of them. I think it went clear through.
That you, Pop?
David, don't startle me like that. Go back to bed.
Where are you going?
Downstairs.
Did you hear a burglar?
If I had, I wouldn't be going downstairs. I'll tell you a little secret. I've been thinking things over, and I'm going down to do a little work on your mother's knitting. See, I want to make sure she wins. After all, I don't want to make her cry.
You're going to knit on her socks to help her?
Well, yes. Something wrong?
No, I guess not. You sure do get yourself in some tough spots, don't you, Pop? That's the 3rd time you've yawned this morning, dear. Didn't you sleep well last night?
Not too well. I dreamt I was knitting. I'm awful tired of knitting, Harriet. I'm willing to admit defeat.
Oh, no, dear. The way you catch on to things, I'll bet you're way ahead of me.
No, not a chance. In fact, I'll bet if we take a look at what you've knitted so far and what I've knitted so far, we'll find you're way, way ahead.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's see, where did I leave my knitting when I went to bed last night?
Right there on the windowsill. I wonder where I left mine.
In the piano bench.
Oh, yeah, that's right. See, here we are. See, take a look at mine. It's all done.
Well, it's wonderful, dear. And look at mine. It's only half all done.
Well, I knew. That is, I thought you,
This is very strange. My sock looks terrible. I don't knit like this.
I don't think it looks so bad.
Looks like a wool funnel.
What do you expect? I couldn't turn on any lights. I had to knit in the kitchen with the refrigerator door open.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I just came downstairs for a little bite to eat, and I happened to have my knitting needles with me, and... what about my sock? It looks pretty darn good.
Good. It looks excellent.
You didn't by any chance come down last night for a little snack, did you?
No, I didn't, dear. I came down to finish your socks.
Why did you want to finish my socks?
Because I wanted you to win. Why did you finish my socks?
Because I wanted you to win. Isn't this silly?
Oh, darling, what a beautiful thought. You wanted me to win.
No, I'm just a softy, I guess. But don't give me credit. It was really the boys. They sort of shamed me into it. In fact, they even suggested that if I won, you might start... What's the matter?
Well, it was so thoughtful of you, dear. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to cry.
Oh, no.
Mom, what's the matter? Nothing, boys. How come you're crying?
Oh, I see. You won after all, huh, Pop?
No, I didn't. Your mother's laughing. She's crying because she's happy. Boys, no, boys.
Ozzie and Harriet will be back in just a moment. You know, I think Ozzie should have stuck to the strictly masculine pursuits and let Harriet handle the feminine. There's no doubt about it. Things work out better that way.
Well, maybe, Mr. Smith. But what would you say if I told you that my husband was the one who chose the silver for our home? It was international sterling silver, too. And what I think is the most beautiful sterling pattern of all. Prelude.
Well, I'd say that your husband is a man who has a fine appreciation for beautiful things. There's no lovelier solid silver in the world than that created by international sterling, you know. Every piece is artist designed, as carefully finished as a rare jewel. And that prelude pattern certainly is one of international's loveliest designs.
Not too plain, not too fancy. It's just right with that delicate flower ornament. And we were pretty happy about the price of prelude, too, Mr. Smith. Imagine buying anything these days that hasn't gone sky high.
International sterling is a wonderful value, all right. Its prices haven't gone up in 4 years.
Why, we figured we saved about $20 by getting 8-piece settings in International Sterling's prelude pattern rather than some other sterling. Honestly, I think every woman ought to take a look at International Sterling patterns right away.
Ah, words of wisdom from one who knows. See your International Sterling dealer tomorrow, folks. See the solid silver with beauty that lives forever. Famous International Sterling.
I think it was a wonderful idea for us to call the contest off, don't you?
Oh, sure. By calling it off, it makes it a draw.
That's right, and definitely proves once and for all that men are superior to women.
Now, just a minute. You didn't win.
Oh, yes, I did. For 13 years, I've been trying to get you to knit me a pair of wool socks. And now, by tricking you into this contest, I'm finally going to get a pair.
Oh, dear, I didn't tell you, did I?
Tell me what?
I promised this pair of socks to Thorny.
You mean after I slaved over that pair of socks and worked my poor fingers to the bone, he gets them?
Oh, yes. As a matter of fact, when he came over yesterday morning, he said he wished he could think of some way to get them knitted faster.
So that's why he gave me all that encouragement. Where are my knitting needles?
What are you going to do, dear?
You see this ugly, contorted mass of sock I've knitted?
Oh, I don't know, dear. It might fit somebody.
Oh, yes. It'll fit anybody who happens to wear a size 23 shoe and has a 1/4-inch ankle. I'm going to knit a mate, and I'll give them to Thorny. He'll wear them. They'll cut off his blood supply at the ankles. His feet will be like icebergs. His wife will divorce him. He'll be a ruined man. What revenge? Knit one, pearl one. Knit one. Tune in again next week to another adventure of Ozzie and Harriet, starring Ozzie Nelson and Harriet Hilliard.
And remember, the solid silver with beauty that lives forever is International Sterling.
Yes, Harriet, the solid silver with beauty that lives forever is International Sterling. Appearing in support of Ozzie and Harriet were John Brown, Tommy Bernard, and Henry Blair. Original music was composed and conducted by Billy May. This program originates in the Hollywood studios of the National Broadcasting Company and is also broadcast over the Trans-Canada Network of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. This is Vern Smith speaking.
The Commonwealth Savings Bank of Australia, the bank for all the family, takes pleasure in presenting the show for all the family, Life with Dexter.
You can buy it, saving will get it, so bank Commonwealth now. For a car or a bike or just a rainy day, be sure to save the friendly Commonwealth way. So listen to this advice and start right today to bank Commonwealth. Save Commonwealth Bank, Commonwealth now.
Life with Dexter became quite interesting recently, and all because young Astley entered an essay competition which was sponsored by the local Asheville newspaper. The first member of the Dutton family to notice the competition in the paper was Dexter one morning at breakfast.
My word, there's something very interesting in the local rag this morning.
It must be terribly interesting. You've got your head buried deeper than the bottom of the ocean.
Well, there must be a picture of Ginny Lollybritches wearing a bikini.
Ashley, why must you say things like that? You're always trying to be smart.
I am not.
You are so.
I am not. I don't have to try to be smart. It comes natural.
Children, will you please only speak when you're spoken to? Now, Dexter, what is so amazingly interesting in this morning's local paper?
Well, it's only that they're running an essay competition for children 15 and under, and I thought my under-15 son might want to submit an entry.
Oh, an essay competition. Oh, gee, Dad, I'm interested. Well, I always stand a good chance of winning things like that. Of course, although I'm under 15 in years, I'm way ahead mentally.
Ha! He is way ahead mentally, too. I can't think of any boy in the neighborhood who's more mental.
Oh, Dexter, that's not a very nice thing to say. Now, let's hear about the competition.
Well, it's a competition for boys and girls 15 and under. The essay has to be short, 500 words or less, and the title of the essay is to be The Most Interesting Man I Know.
Boy, that's a pushover. What's the loot?
What's the what?
The loot, the scraps, the green stuff. What's the prize for the winner?
The prize for the winner is well worth winning. It's a complete set of encyclopedias.
Oh, is that all? Oh, what a monkey run. Why can't old Malbank give a decent price like a new bike or a spear gun?
Oh, Death Adder, you're an apple. You've no sense of values, no sense of appreciation, and no sense of learning.
Apart from which he's got no sense. Son, don't you realize that a complete set of encyclopedias is worth far more than a new bike or a silly spear gun?
Oh, maybe so, Dad, but well, you can't stab fish or skid around corners on a stack of books.
Oh, fancy us having a son who doesn't appreciate good reading matter.
Yeah, he'd rather have one cycle than a set of N-cycles. I don't know, it's rather good N-cycle in it.
Anyway, Dad, I reckon I will have a crack at the competition. I guess I might as well win a bunch of musty old books as nothing. Hey, what's that title again? The Most Interesting Man I Know?
That's right. Do you have any interesting man in mind?
Oh, I sure do, Dad. I know a man I can write about, and he's so close to me, I can talk to him any time I like about some of the interesting things he's done.
Well, Ashley, if you're sure he's the most interesting...
I'm positive he is. Well, how could I think of doing an essay on anyone else? Oh, he's a man plus.
Oh, now, that's exaggerating a little. I mean, he's just a normal, average, ordinary,
he's
everyday...
nothing of the kind. How could you call him ordinary? You do know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Well, son, I believe I can guess.
Then why call him ordinary and every day? Mr. Parker works with the Cliff Rescue Squad.
Dexter, what's the matter with you? Ever since you arrived at the office, you've been wandering around like a sick sheep.
I'm sorry, J.G., but this morning I'm just not myself.
Then you should be enjoying the change. What's eating you? What's on the space where your mind would be if you had one?
Jonathan, would you say I've been a good father to my only son?
Well, yes, I suppose you've been a good father. You've never been a good anything else, but I guess you've been a good father. Why do you ask?
Well, a couple of days ago, during breakfast, I discovered that my son does not appreciate his father. He does not find me interesting.
He doesn't? Well, that's silly, because I find you most interesting. And I'm sure most psychiatrists would do the same.
This is no joking matter. I happen to be a father.
Well, I have a son in boarding school. What do you think I am, a mother?
I'm sorry. I forgot all about Gerald. Well, all right, Jonathan, as a father yourself, what would be your feelings if Gerald had to write an essay about the most interesting man he knows and he decided to write it about Vince Parker, the man who lives up the street from us?
Oh, Vince Parker's a very interesting character. He's with the police rescue squad.
I know that, but wouldn't you like your son to write about you as the most interesting man he knows?
I don't know.
Has your boy ever written about you?
I don't know about me. He often writes to me for money. Yes, Dexter, I can see your point. Yes, my feelings would be hurt if Gerald wrote the essay about anyone else but me.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's why I'm so upset right now. Ashley's first thought was to do his essay on this Vince Parker. And since then, he's considered George Gordon, the deep-sea diver, Fred Moody, the airways pilot, and even Dave Regan, who feeds the elephants at the zoo.
Excuse me, will you? The buzzer's buzzing. Yes, Miss Potter. All right. Put him on. Dexter, it's Ashley calling you.
Oh.
Now, try to sound interesting, will you?
Oh, hey, for me? Maybe he's decided to write the essay about me after all. Thank you. Hello, son. Oh, this is an unexpected pleasure. Are you ringing from school? Your lunch hour. I see. Yeah, what can I do for you? Uh-huh. I see. And you want my opinion? Well, I think that's a terrific idea. Yes, you should go ahead with it. Yes, by all means, definitely. That's good idea. Goodbye, Ashley.
What was that about?
My son has decided he won't write his essay about Vince Parker or George Gordon or Fred Moody or Dave Regan.
No?
No, he's going to write about a man who's much more interesting than all those. Bert Smith, the garbage man.
At first sight, it looks as though Ashley has let Dexter down, but of course, with Ashley, you never know. He's always likely to come good. And now a word with all those girls and boys who want to come good with a Christmas present for Dad. One that he'll really appreciate. At all branches of the Commonwealth Savings Bank, you can buy passbook note wallets for 2 shillings each. These Commonwealth Savings Bank wallets are the best 2 shillings worth you can buy anywhere. They're made of plastic. They come in 3 smart colors. The wallets hold a Commonwealth Savings Bank passbook, notes, stamps, driver's license, and all the other things Dad likes to carry with him. So girls and boys, go along between now and Christmas to any Commonwealth Savings Bank branch and buy a passbook note wallet for 2 shillings. And if there are any dads listening who haven't boys and girls to buy a wallet for them, well, give yourself a treat. Buy a Commonwealth Savings Bank passbook note wallet for yourself. And of course, everyone, don't forget to week by week, Bank Commonwealth.
But, Katie, what can I do about it? Dexter's awfully hurt over the whole silly business. Ashley's so engrossed with collecting notes and talking to interesting characters in the district, he doesn't hear a word I say.
Oh, then he hasn't yet made a final choice as to whom he's going to write about.
No, and he wasted some of his lunch money yesterday to phone me and his father to see what we thought about Bert Smith, the garbage collector, as an interesting subject.
Oh, dear. Oh, Dexter wouldn't like that. I know Jonathan wouldn't care to be tossed aside for a garbage collector. Although sometimes I'd like to see the collector toss him into the cart.
Oh, Katie, do you think I should forget my promise to Dexter and have a talk with Ashley?
I believe that I might have another idea. Supposing Jonathan and I come in for a little social visit tonight. Somehow I'll lead the conversation around to what an interesting character Dexter is. Sort of reminisce about some of the exciting things that he's done, etc., etc.
Yes, well, you might have a job thinking up one exciting thing without the etc., etc.
Oh, Jessie, between us we'll think up lots of things, even if we have to invent a few. Will Ashley be home this evening so that he'll be sure to overhear our conversation?
Yes, he usually has masses of homework to do on Friday evening, and he does it in his father's study.
Oh, good, that's perfect. We'll all be in the living room, and if we talk naturally, he won't be able to help overhearing every word we say.
That's true, even if he has the study door shut. We could even cheat slightly by keeping our voices well up.
Oh, I don't have to cheat to do that, Jessie. When Ashley overhears a few interesting items about his father, he'll change his mind completely about the essay.
Oh, Katie, your idea's a gem, but you have to do most of the talking. When I want to, I can never think of a thing to say.
On that score, I don't have any trouble. Jonathan often says the only chance he gets to open his mouth is when he yawns. Once, when I dislocated my jaw, Jonathan phoned the doctor, and you'd never guess what he said. He said, "Doctor, I wonder if you'd mind calling in to fix my wife's jaw. That is, if you're in the vicinity any time next week or the week after."
Oh, Katie, you're joking.
Sit down, J.G. Nice of you to call in this evening.
Oh, nice of you to have us, Dexter.
Oh, here, Katie. Sit over here between me and Janie.
Plenty of room, Mrs. Wilmot.
Katie will soon put an end to that.
All right, Jonathan, don't be rude. At least my figure is in proportion.
Oh, it's in proportion, all right. Katie's measurements are 25, 35, 45.
They're no such thing. And I'd rather measure that than have your figure of 45, 45, 45.
Oh, now, no arguments tonight, please. Let's all have a pleasant neighborly chat.
Yes, indeed. Jessie, is Ashley in the study?
Yes, and the door's not quite closed, so we'll hear everything. And by the way, Dexter doesn't have a clue what we're going to do.
A cigar, Dexter?
Thank you very much.
I told Jonathan about it, and he's willing to help with the conversation.
What are you women whispering about?
Oh, nothing, dear. Just a little private gossip.
Yeah, they call it gossip, J.G. Two lady tigers tearing another lady tiger to shreds.
Oh, Dexter. Oh, you're a scream the way you describe things. Jesse, has your husband ever thought about a stage career? He'd make a fabulous comedian.
Who, me?
Oh, yes, Katie's right, Dexter. You would make a wonderful performer. You know, you're such an outstanding personality.
Who, me?
Daddy, why wouldn't Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot mean you? You're too modest. That's your trouble.
You are too, Dexter. Jonathan often tells me that when he talks about you after a hard day's work at the office.
Oh, it's true, yes, I must admit it. Dexter, you mustn't feel because I bawl you out occasionally at the office that I don't genuinely appreciate you. To be honest with you, I don't believe I've met a more interesting man than you in all my life.
Who, me?
Please, dear, don't keep saying that.
Well, I just don't... Jesse, are you sure you invited the Wilmots in here tonight and not a couple who owe us a lot of money?
Oh, there he goes with that amazing humor again. Jesse, you're a very lucky woman to be married to such an unusually interesting man.
I am lucky, Katie, and I don't know how I ever caught him in the first place. Before we were married, he led such a wild, devil-may-care, interesting life.
Who, me? I did?
Daddy, tell Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot about how when you were a youth, you and a friend rode bicycles on a 200-mile trip.
Oh, Janie, they don't want to hear about that.
But we do.
Well, when I was a youth, a friend and I rode bicycles on a 200-mile trip.
You didn't.
How interesting.
Oh, Dexter's done much more interesting things than that. You won't believe this, Katie, nor you, Jonathan, but my husband was once almost drowned.
No!
Oh, Jessie, no, please, no.
Mummy told me about it one day, and it's the most amazing, blood-curdling thing I ever heard.
Yeah, well, I don't wish to discuss it.
Now, Dexter, there's that modesty coming out again. Jonathan and I want to hear all about how you nearly drowned.
I can hear you, Katie. I'm sitting right here. You don't have to shout.
Well, tell them about it, dear. Don't be shy.
Oh, very well. If you must know how I nearly drowned, I'll tell you. I was lying on the beach in the sun, sound asleep, and I didn't notice the tide coming in.
How interesting.
Fantastic. You know, Dexter, I envy you, old boy. I've led such a quiet, staid life, but you've really lived. You've looked into the jaws of death.
I have? I mean, yeah, well, I guess I have.
Jonathan, why haven't you led an interesting life like Dexter? You've never looked into the jaws of death.
Katie, that's not quite true. See, last week when I got home late from the club and you were waiting up for me, I was looking right into them then.
Daddy, would you be too modest to tell about how you joined up in the army without waiting to be called up?
Oh, please, who wants to hear about that?
We do!
Well, all right. One day I went down to the Army recruiting office to make some inquiries for a friend who was sick in bed with the flu. And before I knew it, some slick-talking sergeant had my name on the dotted line.
But how terribly interesting.
Remarkable, truly remarkable, really interesting.
Do you all really like hearing about me doing things like that?
I am completely engrossed.
Yes, I wish you'd tell us more, Dexter. I say, have you ever thought of writing a book about your life?
A book?
An autobiography of an unusual character.
And what an unusual character.
J.G., you've often called me an odd character, but never unusual.
Oh, but by odd, I meant odd, unusual, and intensely interesting. Dexter, you're a man in millions.
Well, certainly I'm a man in millions. There are millions of men in the world, and I'm one of them.
Katie, I think you've done the trick. Ashley's coming out of the study.
Well, hi, everyone. Hi. See, Mum, I'm pleased with myself. I finished my homework in a quarter of my usual time, and all because of one thing.
What thing?
My little invention for not being distracted. Look, 2 little corks in my ears.
Jonathan, why don't you go into the surf with the others? I'll just lie here on the sand and soak in the sun.
I want to talk to you while we're alone, Bird Brain. I've thought of a wonderful idea to make you a hero in front of your son. What you told me about nearly drowning once gave me the idea.
Oh, look, forget it. I've given away trying to look like an interesting character to impress Ashley. Anyway, I believe he started writing his essay this morning.
Then he'll start rewriting it tomorrow. Dexter, I'm going into that surf in a moment, and I'm going to get a cramp and go under.
You are? 3 times, I hope.
Huh?
I mean, no. What I meant was, how many times?
Once, you log. And when I start yelling for help, you're going to be close by, ready to rescue me and bring me ashore. Now, we'll head over this way. Come on.
I'm coming.
We don't want to be too close to Katie and your family. It's better if they see you acting the hero from a distance.
Okay, stand back and make way for a bold, brave hero. I'm afraid of nothing. Oh, the water's cold on my toes.
Dexter, for heaven's sake, I'm already wet. Here, let me give you a little shove. There, that's better. Now you're wet. Now, come on, swim out with me into deeper water and prepare for the rescue. Now, any moment now, I'm going to start yelling, you see, with a cramp.
Yeah, this icy water's beginning to give me a genuine cramp. Oh, I'm getting a stitch in my side. Oh, you shouldn't have pushed me so hard. It hurt.
Will you stop yakking and save your breath for the rescue? Now, get ready. I'm going to go into the act now. Yep. Help me! I got a cramp! I'm drowning!
You'll have to forget all about your act. I can't swim with a stitch in my side. It's getting worse. I can't stay up. Jakey, help me. Help me stop. Jakey, help!
Oh, no.
Just
hang on to me, Dexter.
I'm drowning. Well, watch my head.
Look, Ashley, just keep his head above water, will you, while I drag him back to shore?
Yeah, don't be scared, Dad. We've got you.
Oh, this is just delightful.
Jonathan, is Dexter all right? Daddy, what happened? Well, don't panic, women. He'll be okay.
Oh, wouldn't this resuscitate you? As we know, Dexter wasn't taking much of a risk, and neither was J.G. However, we do know that at this time of the year, people do take risks, particularly about losing their money. At Christmas and holiday times, thieves are very busy. Consequently, it is foolhardy to carry too much money on you or to leave it in your home. It's so much easier and more sensible for you to keep your money in a Commonwealth Savings Bank account. In the Commonwealth Savings Bank, your money is completely safe. It is readily available to you whenever you want it. And now I'd like to remind you again of the Commonwealth Savings Bank Traveller's Cash System. If you are going on holidays, call at your local Commonwealth Savings Bank before you go and ask about the Traveller's Cash System. The bank will arrange for you to withdraw money wherever you're going. Then take your passbook with you. In this way, you can enjoy yourself without fear of losing your cash. There are friendly officers of the Commonwealth Savings Bank everywhere, so there's no reason to take risks. Open a Commonwealth Savings Bank account tomorrow, and week by week, Bank Commonwealth.
Oh, Ashley, you've hardly eaten a thing for breakfast. What's wrong?
Oh, gee, Mama, I'm too excited to eat. This is the Saturday the competition results come out in the paper. I have a feeling my essay's going to win.
Ha-ha.
Well, we'd be very proud of you if you do win, son. But I think you might tell us who you wrote about.
Yes, Ashley, please tell us. Did you write about Mr. Parker from the Cliff Rescue Squad?
Well, yes, I did. Sort of, if you must know.
I just knew you'd write about him.
And why shouldn't your brother write about a brave cliff rescue man? In my opinion, it was a very good choice. Very good indeed. Ashley's old enough to select his own subject for an essay, and he selected a person who, in his eyes, is the most interesting man he knows.
Yep, that's about it. Oh, I can't eat any more breakfast. If you'll all excuse me, I'll go out front and wait for the paper to arrive.
It never arrives on the Saturday before 10 o'clock.
I might as well wait for it anyway.
Well, I think it's a crying shame that Ashley wrote his essay about a perfect stranger.
Dexter, you're not too hurt, are you?
Hurt? Me? Hurt? Oh, well, what makes you girls think that? My son's job was to write an essay on the most interesting man he knows. How could he write about a man he had to rescue from drowning last weekend? How could he write about a man who's never done anything more interesting than become a lance corporal in the army?
Oh, that's not true. To me, you've always been a most interesting man. What about the time you wrote a detective novel? And the time you made your own movie for television?
And what about all the wonderful, interesting things you brought home from auction sales? Like the hippopotamus head.
And how about the Goida car you bought with the stolen diamonds hidden in it?
And, Daddy, don't tell me an uninteresting man could ever have learned to play the saxophone at your age.
I learned to blow it, not play it.
Dexter, you've been lost on a desert island. You've owned a hot dog stall. You've thought you discovered oil in our backyard. You've hypnotized your family. You've appeared on Bob Dyer's quiz program. And once you even painted a portrait of Kimberly Wilmot and entered it in a competition.
Jessie, I guess I have done some rather interesting things.
Yes.
That portrait of Kimberly was a beauty, wasn't it? I won a prize with it, remember? The judges thought it was a modernistic painting of a train going into a tunnel.
Hi there, Duttons. May we come in?
Come in, Jonathan. Good morning, Katie.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Oh, isn't
Good
it
morning.
a glorious Saturday morning? We just passed Ashley standing guard at the front gate.
He's watching for the paper man like a hawk watching a young bird.
Or like Jonathan watching a young bird.
That was most uncalled for.
Hey, I've won! My essay's won the prize! It's true, I've won the prize. Look, my essay's in print on the front page.
Show it here to me, son. May I read it?
Sure, Dad. Go ahead.
The Most Interesting Man I Know by Ashley Dutton.
That's me.
Yeah. What is the definition of a most interesting man? Is it perhaps a man who risks his life with a cliff rescue squad? Is it a man who fights fires, floods, and famine? Is it a man who travels the four corners of the globe to find excitement and adventure? Maybe it's a man in the public eye with his fingers on the pulse of world affairs. I guess all these men are interesting to some people, maybe to a great number of people. But the most interesting man I know is the man who is most interested in me, my dad,
Oh, show me, dear. It's difficult for me to remember the first time I met my dad, but he remembers it well. I've heard him tell Mum how he reacted when the nurse put me on show behind the glass window. From the time I was 3 years old, I recall so...
About that. Young Ashley won the essay competition after all. Just excuse me a moment. I'll get him over and have a word with him. Oh, Ashley.
Oh, you want me, Mr. Dunn?
Yeah, can you spare a minute? Congratulations. That was a very fine effort, young fellow.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. Dunn. But with a fellow like Dad to write about, how could I miss? One good thing, I'll have plenty to read during the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, I'll say you will. By the way, have you bought Christmas presents for the family yet?
I'll say. In fact, my savings bank account has taken a terrific bashing lately.
Yeah, I suppose it has. But from what you've told me from time to time, you'll have plenty of money in it for next year.
Oh, well, I'm not complaining. I'm not nearly broke. Not even bent. You know, Mr. Dunn, it's a beaut feeling having money in the bank to buy things when you want them.
Yeah, you're telling me. And now, Ashley, would you like to say something to all the boys and girls listening in tonight?
Can I?
Yeah, go on.
Oh, gee, thanks, Mr. Dunn. Hello, boys and girls. I hope you all have a real cool time during the school holidays, but please be careful. Remember your road safety rules and, well, don't end up in Germville.
Now, that's good advice, boys and girls, and I hope you follow it yourself, Ashley. And now, have you got another message for the boys and girls?
Oh, you mean to remind them to bank Commonwealth?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I bet there's no need for that. Well, we've all got the message. In fact, I'm sure that, like me, they all bank Commonwealth.
Saving will get it, so bank Commonwealth now.
For a car or a bike or just a rainy day,
Be sure to save the friendly Commonwealth way.
so listen to this advice and
Start right today to bank Commonwealth. Save Commonwealth Bank. Commonwealth now.
Life with Dexter is produced by Noel Judd and written by Willie Fennell. And this is John Dunn inviting you to enjoy life with Dexter at the same time next week from this station. And remember, you'll always enjoy life with a Commonwealth Savings Bank account.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time, Kraft presents from Hollywood, California, Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. In the meantime, November is here again. Yes, and crisp, frosty November weather is going to make the whole family feel like working harder and playing harder, too. So now the right kind of energy food becomes more important than ever. Yes, right now it's very important that your family gets plenty of wholesome, nourishing food. Food that provides energy and vitamins, that gives you and the children the kind of nourishment everyone needs. Now, Parquet margarine, made by Kraft, is just such a food. Yes, Parquet margarine is a wholesome, highly nutritious food made from selected American farm products. Parquet is one of the best sources of food energy you can serve. What's more, Parquet margarine is a reliable source of vitamin A. Every pound contains 9,000 units of this important vitamin. Now, all this wouldn't do much good if your family didn't like Parquet margarine. Well, we're sure they will. Yes, they're bound to like Parquet's delicious flavor, whether you serve it at the table or use it for baking and pan frying. So order delicious, economical Parquet margarine tomorrow. Just ask for Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve.
Leroy?
Yes, Uncle Mort?
Come in here a minute, will you? I want to... Say, how did you get that scratch on your nose? And by George, your shirt's all torn, too. What's happened to you?
Well, I had a slight argument with a friend of mine.
A slight argument with a friend, eh? I'd hate to see you after a big fight with a stranger. Where did you two argue? Inside a cement mixer?
Nope. All the way from our backyard to Georgie Beasley's front steps.
Oh.
It was a sort of a running argument.
Yes. Now, Leroy, I disapprove of you holding knuckle debates with your little chums.
But gee, Uncle Mort, you should have heard what Georgie said.
No matter what he said, it wasn't the friendly thing to do.
Well, if you'd have heard, you'd understand why I had to bop him on the smeller.
You bop him on the smeller? Leroy, where do you pick up that kind of language?
From you. Remember Wednesday when you almost ran into that truck?
That truck almost ran into me, young man. And besides, I don't recall using those words.
It was just after the truck driver told you to go.
Leroy, never mind. Let's get back to you. Young man, you must realize that you can't keep friendships by indulging in pugilistic altercations.
What's that?
Poking people in the puss. Yeah.
Well, who wants to be friends with old Georgie Beasley anyhow?
Now, Leroy, friends are more precious than gold or diamonds. What would a man have if he didn't have any friends?
Gold or diamonds?
That's right. No! Leroy, I want you to go over to Georgie Beasley's house and apologize.
Well, not right now. His big brother is home.
Oh.
Besides, I'm not going to shake hands with him after what he said about you.
Come. Remember, sticks and stones may break... About me? What did he say?
Well, I don't like to repeat it.
But I want to know.
No, Uncle Mort, you'd only get angry.
Yeah.
And besides, your head isn't any fatter than anybody else's.
So he called me a fathead, did he?
Yeah, how'd you find out?
Wait till I tell his mother about this.
Oh, you won't have to do that, Uncle Mort. He was just repeating what she said.
Oh, let's drop the subject, Leroy. Only remember one thing. Friends are wonderful things to have. Because when you're over your head in debt, a friend won't let you down. And when you're up to your ears in trouble, a friend won't let you down. And when you find out you're on a limb...
A friend won't let you down then either.
Yes. Say, that reminds me. I've been meaning to look up an old friend from back home ever since I came to Summerfield.
Does he live here?
Yes, a fellow named Charlie Dapple. I'll get in touch with him right now. Hand me the phone book, will you please?
Sure.
Thanks. Great chap, Charlie. I remember when I was first struggling to get into the girdle business. It was Charlie who helped me.
To get into girdles?
No, young man. Yes. He owned Dapple's department store at the time. He snapped up the first 10 dozen I made. Yes, he had a stretcher point to do it, too.
Did that help you?
Yes, sir. It pulled me out of a mighty tight squeeze. Let me see. Daniels, Danner, Dante. Here we are. Dapple, Charles. 147 Olive Street. Pimento 4733. That'll be good to see good old Charlie Dapple again after all these years. Yeah.
Hello?
Hello? Could I speak to Charlie Dapple, please?
Well, he isn't home now. This is Mrs. Dapple.
Mrs. Dapple? Well, don't tell me that good old Charlie's married after all these years. Congratulations, Mrs. Dapple. You're a mighty lucky woman.
Thank you. That's what Charlie keeps saying. Who is this?
What was that?
Who is this?
Well, when did the big event take place?
3 years ago, Labor Day. Who is this?
Well, good old Charlie married on Labor Day. Say, I'll bet you're a redhead.
No, I'm a brunette. What made you think I was a redhead?
Well, you know how Charlie always went. No, I guess you don't.
Maybe not, but I will. Who is this?
Oh, it's an old friend from back home, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Doesn't that name mean anything to you?
No.
Oh, but surely he's told you about the times we used to have together. Didn't he ever talk about Atlantic City?
No. What about Atlantic City?
Well, it's in New Jersey.
Well, he'll be home any minute, and I'll ask him all about it.
Oh, no. Let's make it a surprise.
Make what a surprise?
Well, I'm going to drop over for a visit.
Oh, but really, Mr.
Now, come, Mrs. Dapple. I haven't seen your husband for 5 years. Let's see, you live at 147 Olive, eh?
Yes, it's an apartment house. The Venus de Milo Arms.
Well, I think I can find it. I'll drop in half an hour.
Oh, but I don't know if you should come today, Mr. Silvercoat.
Gildersleeve's the name. Yeah. Now, don't fix anything special for me. Just think of me as one of the family. Goodbye. This is going to be fun surprising Charlie. He loves surprises. I'll never forget the night he sneaked a lot of his wax dummies into my office to scare me the next morning.
And did it?
It would have if our night watchman hadn't shot 6 of them. He claimed they pulled a knife on him.
Mr. Dapple sounds like a keen guy.
He is, Leroy. Good old Charlie. Come along and meet him.
Oh, but I wanted to go to a movie.
We can go afterwards. Come on.
Yes?
Mrs. Dapple?
Yes?
Well. Charlie certainly picked himself a lovely little bride.
What? Oh, you must be the man who phoned, Mr. Silversleeve.
Gildersleeve. By the way, is my old sidekick home yet?
Well, no, and I've been expecting him for an hour.
All right, Uncle, let's go to that movie.
Come back here, young man. Mrs. Dapple, this is my nephew, Leroy.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Well, come right in.
Thank you.
Oh, now, don't look at this room. It's a mess.
Oh, no, it just has that lived-in look.
Well, Charlie should be home any minute now. Mm-hmm. On Saturday afternoons, he usually stops at several places on the way home. To get the football scores, you know.
Yes, I know how it is. No, not a baby. Mind if we look?
Oh, no.
Come on, Leroy. Don't you want to see the baby?
No, I just want to see the movie.
Okay, young man. No baby, no movie.
Let's see the baby.
Yeah, that's better. Well, Mrs. Dapple. What a handsome, husky child. What's his name, Charlie?
No, Gertrude.
Oh, pardon me, Gertrude. Ooh, zitty-bitty babums, a zoo.
Oh, dear, you frightened her.
Maybe it's her face, Uncle Mort.
Nonsense, Leroy. Babies just love my face.
Now, Mother's little angel cake. Shush.
Yeah, shush. I know what'll quiet her, Mrs. Dapple. It's one trick that always works. I got it right here in my pocket.
Gee, Unc, are you carrying around a bottle of milk?
No. It's my watch, Leroy. Yeah. Now listen, little cupcake. You hear the tick-tick?
Oh, isn't that cute? She's holding it to her ear.
Yes. There's nothing like a piece of jewelry to stop a girl from crying.
Oh, dear me, the phone again.
Phone?
Now, let go of the gentleman's watch, darling, so I can put you down. No, not Mother's lamb. Let go. Oh, dear, she won't let go. Well, you'll just have to hold him, Mr. Gildersleeve, while I take that call.
But it's been years since I held a baby that young.
Oh, no. Don't you be afraid.
Huh?
Once you've learned, you never forget. It's like swimming.
Swimming, I'll bet it is. Yeah.
Here, hold Gertrude, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, all right. Take it easy, Gertrude. Oh, well, jiggly, isn't she? Whoa, now.
I'll be back in just a minute.
You better come back now. She's getting restless. Now, see here, Gertrude. Oh, I was just kidding. Relax. Kitchy, kitchy, goo. Kitchy, kitchy, goo.
Gee, Uncle Mort, I never knew you could take care of babies.
I can't. Leroy, would you like to hold little Gertie a while?
Not me. Come on, let's ditch her and go see Hopalong Cassidy.
Yep, wait a minute. I can't get my watch and chain away from her. And now, Gertrude, you've had your little fun, so let loose.
No use trying to force her, Unc.
Huh?
She'll get tired of it pretty soon and just drop the whole thing.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I see. If she drops the watch, you get the works.
Leroy, don't poke fun. Now, Gertie, let go of Uncle Throckmorton's 21-jewel nasty gold watch. That's a good girl. You see, Leroy, I got it back. Oh, now she's got a hold of my hair. Let go, Mother's little devil's food cake.
Say, she certainly is a cute kid.
Leroy, don't stand there. Do something.
Well, if I could find a pair of scissors, I could cut off that hunk of hair she's holding.
No! Ouch! Gertrude, unhand my hair.
Say, she likes you.
Yeah, she's practically drooling over me.
Well, really, Mr. Gildersleeve, what are you doing to that baby?
Madam, you better ask the baby what she's doing to me.
Oh, now, let go of the man's hair, darling. There.
Thanks. Oh, my scalp. Feels like I just lost a decision to Sitting Bull.
Now you just lie on your blanket like a good little girl while Mama runs down to the gas company.
Yes. Now?
Yes, or else I don't know what we'll ever do over the weekend. Charlie was supposed to attend to it.
But you're not going to leave us alone here with Gertrude.
Oh, she won't give you any trouble, will you, sweetheart? See?
Yes.
Well, Charlie will probably be here before I return. Oh, and in case he isn't, just heat the baby's bottle in 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Take the roast out of the oven in a quarter of an hour.
Take the roast.
Then light a fire under the soup.
Fire the soup.
And if a COD package comes, it's all right to pay for it.
But I...
And if it gets any cooler, phone down to the janitor for more heat.
Huh?
Bye.
Light a fire under the janitor. Put the COD in the oven. Phone down for the baby's bottle. Oh, my...
Supposed to fold it the other way.
Leroy, I know which way it folds. After all, I used to be a baby myself. Yeah. Now, don't get fidgety, Gertie. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Careful with that safety pin, Uncle Mort.
Oh, my. Why don't these things come with zippers? Yes, Mother's little leg of lamb.
You better hurry up, Uncle Mort. Gertrude's getting restless. And cold, too.
Well, it's her own fault. She keeps kicking it off.
Well, if you can't pin it, why don't you just leave it off altogether?
No, Leroy. We've got to pin Gertrude down some way with this blanket. There we are. I wonder what makes her do that.
Maybe she's just bored with everything. When she isn't yelling, she's yawning.
Well, that's because she should be sleeping, Leroy. Possibly if I told her some little anecdote, that might put her to sleep. It always works at the Rotary Club.
Why don't you just try singing her to sleep?
That's a fine idea. Friends have told me my voice reminds them of a meadowlark singing bass.
Unc. Make for the lullabies.
All right. What would you think of Asleep in the Deep? You know. Many brave hearts are asleep in the deep. Too deep. Yeah. How about Rockabye Baby?
That's it. Go ahead, Uncle Mort.
All right, let me see. I think it goes, Rockabye Baby in the treetop. Yes. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Yes. I can't remember how the rest goes.
Down will come baby, cradle and all.
Yeah, that's it. Rockabye Gertrude on the treetop.
She's going to sleep, so you better not stop.
When the bough breaks, the cradle goes lower.
You're doing swell, Unc. Sing it once more.
Rockabye, baby, let's go, Leroy. She's closing her eyes, so let's tiptoe into the other room, my boy.
Let's wait here till both eyes she shuts. Look out for that pen!
Oh, nuts. Rockabye, baby. Oh, what's the use? I have been singing till my tonsils are loose.
You better give up, Unc. Whatever it is that kid wants, it ain't a meadowlark that sings bass.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're right, Leroy.
Gee, if this takes much longer, we won't see those two pictures before dinner.
Leroy, if this takes much longer, we won't even see dinner. I better call home and tell your sister we'll be late. Hand me that telephone. The idea. Me playing nursing aid to a baby. Fine thing.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Marjorie. Looks like Leroy and I'll be a little late for dinner tonight, my dear. We stopped in to see an old friend.
Who's that? Your old friend?
No, it's Gertrude. She's just a baby. Yes. Leroy and I are taking care of her. For Mrs. Dapple. She's out taking care of the gas. Yes, and we're even taking care of the cooking.
Oh, you, Uncle Mort, taking care of the cooking?
Yes. I was supposed to take the roast out of the oven and put the soup on the fire. But I had to put the soup in the oven because the roast was on fire.
Oh, poor Uncle Mort.
Yeah.
Have you been having much trouble with the baby?
Well, I've been singing Rockabye Baby to her, but something tells me she'd prefer there'll be some changes made.
I think I'd better come over and help you.
That's a marvelous idea. And bring Bertie, Marjorie. Maybe she can patch up the dinner I've ruined.
All right. Oh, I think I know what's wrong with that baby. It's probably hungry.
Hungry? Say, I never thought of that. Let me have a look. Oh, my goodness, that's what it must be. Marjorie, hurry over quickly.
What's wrong?
Gertrude's so hungry she's trying to swallow her foot.
Miss, have you got that all straight now?
I think so, Mrs. Dapple. We're to shut off the gas at 1:47 Olive this afternoon and turn it on at 3214 Winslow. Is that right?
Correct. We're moving away from the Olive Street apartment tonight, and I don't want any slip-up.
Oh, there won't be.
Oh, now, can I change my light and water here, too?
No, the Light and Water Company's down at 10th and Spring Streets.
Oh, dear. Well, that'll take me an hour. I left someone with my baby, and I promised to be right back. Oh, well, they'll just have to wait.
Really, Marjorie, the way you've handled that baby is a revelation to me.
Yeah, you're certainly tidy with a diety.
Yeah. Where did you ever learn all that, my dear?
Oh, I took child psychology in school.
Yes, but Gertrude didn't. How did you ever two get together?
Oh, it was easy. In dealing with hysteria and psychoneurosis in the field of speculative philosophy relating to the young, the prime factor was a thorough understanding of the mental and nervous processes of the infant mind. Simple, isn't it?
Either it is or I am. Say, Leroy, how's Bertie doing?
Oh, Bertie, how's everything?
I'm doing as well as I can, considering.
Considering what, Bertie?
The cupboards.
Oh, what's wrong with the cupboards here, Bertie?
Well, from the looks of them, these folks seems to have a mighty fine assortment of nothing.
Nothing? What do you mean? Make yourself plain.
Okay, I'll speak plain, but it's gonna sound ugly. These folks has got just about enough food in their kitchen for one meal.
Do you mean that Mrs. Dapple's cupboard is empty?
Man, that cupboard couldn't be any better than if that lady's name was Hubbard.
Oh. Oh, this is terrible. I never dreamed for a moment they were destitute.
Well, what are we going to do, Uncle Mort?
Don't worry, I'll fix things up, Marjorie. Bertie, take this $10 bill down to the nearest store and buy a lot of groceries.
Yes, sir. Better make out a list.
Yes.
Some canned goods.
Oh, Uncle Mort. That's terribly sweet of you.
And some sugar.
Oh, it's nothing, my dear. I get a lump in my throat.
Lump sugar?
And a sinking feeling in my heart.
Baking soda.
When I think of what's ahead.
A head of cabbage.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It brings the tears to my eyes.
And onions.
I suppose they just gradually got into debt and couldn't...
Catch up.
That's it. They couldn't catch up. Bertie, are you still here? You better get going. Take Leroy along to help you carry the bundle.
Okay, Uncle Mort.
Hurry out the back way. I'll bet that's my old pal now. And will I clap hands if here comes Charlie?
Now, see here, Dapple. We've exhausted our patience with you. Why do you ignore our letters? Why do you hang up when we telephone? Why don't you be a man and make your payments on that piano like you promised?
No, see here, mister. I'm not Dapple. But by George, if I was and you used that tone, I'd cuff you around till you'd crawl back into the woodwork.
Oh, yeah? Well, if you're not Dapple, what do you care how I talk to him, you big blimp?
He's my friend, and you can't abuse an absent friend in my presence, especially if he isn't here.
Uncle Mort, not so loud.
Huh? Oh, that's right. Not so loud, mister. If you want to fight, just step inside.
Okay. But this time when I leave, I'm taking that piano with me.
Over my dead body.
That makes it even more attractive.
Oh. One more crack like that, and I'll shove that swollen zither down your noisy throat. Now, you take your hat off and state your business before I forget my manners and bop you on the smeller.
Now, take it easy, Tubbsy.
Whoop.
My name is Baxter of the Summerfield Washing Machine and Piano Company. Now, this fellow Dapple has been buying this piano from us on the installment plan, only he ain't kept up his payments.
Well, I happen to know that Mr. Dapple has been up against it pretty badly lately. Couldn't you just kind of forget the payments this month?
Forget it? How can I? I've got a memory like an elephant.
Yeah, and a hide like one, too. All right, then. How much is the payment? I'll give it to you myself.
No, you won't. According to our contract, once a payment is defaulted, the entire remaining balance becomes automatically due.
Oh, my goodness. How much does he still owe on it?
Now, let's see. I've got it right here. It's $74.
$74 more? Why, that mahogany monstrosity over there was never worth that in the first place.
Either I get the money or else the piano.
Yes, I think you mean it. Well, Charlie Dapple helped me up when I was getting started, so I can't let him down when he's just about finished. I'll write you a check for the $74. Let's see. That'll leave me with a balance of 28 cents. Yeah, now there's somebody at the back door. I better go see. I'm coming, you blasted woodpecker.
Excuse me, I'm the gas man.
Don't want any. I got enough gas.
I come to shut it off.
Shut it off? Didn't Mrs. Dapple call at your office this afternoon, probably to pay the bill?
Look, brother, I'm a guy who sticks strictly to his own job.
Yeah.
I got an order saying turn off gas at Dapple Apartment 147 Olive Street. And that's what I'm going to do, brother.
Yeah. Well, let's not be too hasty about this, brother. Suppose I pay the bill to you right now.
No, I ain't allowed to take no money. You don't understand, brother. I'm just the guy who gets orders to turn gas on and to turn it off.
Yeah.
Then I go where it says and I turn gas on or else I turn it off. That's all I do.
Oh, sounds mighty monotonous.
I like being monotonous.
Yes. Look here, brother. By the way, what's your name?
Herman Peebles.
Herman Peebles. Look here, Hermie. Peebles live here, too. Simple Peebles. Kindly Peebles. The salt of the earth. Things have been a little tough for him lately. And there's another mouth to feed, too.
You mean?
Yes, that's what I mean. A tiny baby named Little Gertrude. Yeah, think what it would mean to poor little Gertrude if she didn't have any gas. No hot milk. No hot water. No hot air.
It's tough.
Yes. Winter is approaching, too, Hermie. Need I say more?
No. Don't worry, mister. I'm not going to shut off the gas here today.
You're not?
No, I Just can't.
Well, I'm certainly glad I convinced you.
Wasn't you, mister. Just remembered I left my tools at the office.
Going to that movie.
Just as soon as a dapple shows its nose through that door.
I done cooked this rib roast so long it's done shrunk down to the size of a lamb chop.
Well, personally, I wouldn't mind staying all evening, only I've got a previous engagement.
It's them. I'll get the door.
We come for the furniture.
To take it away.
This is the last straw.
Don't let them do this to little Gertrude, Unc.
You're right, Leroy. You men can't do this to a poor little helpless baby.
We ain't doing nothing to no baby. Take the other end of this sofa, Terry.
I got it. Now, get out of the way, mister.
By George, they're not going to get away with this.
Uncle, put down that vase.
I was just trying to help the men out there.
Don't do us no favors. We'll help ourselves out. Careful coming out that door, Terry.
Okay.
Quick, Leroy, lock the door. Now we got to figure out some way to prevent them from stripping the apartment.
Mr. Gillsleeve, a lady just come in the back way and says she's Miss Dapple. Here she comes now.
Oh, at last.
Oh, thank you ever so much, Mr. Gildecoff.
That's all right. Where's Charlie?
Well, I can't imagine. Unless he's... Oh, of course.
Huh?
This was his Saturday to work late at the office. But he'll be here any minute now. That is, if he comes straight home.
He better come straight home. There are a couple of men roaming around trying to repossess your furniture.
Repossess our furniture? Well, I can't imagine... Oh, why, you must mean the moving men.
Yeah, they're moving men. They're trying to move everything you got right out of here.
Well, of course. We're moving over to Winslow Avenue today.
Oh, my goodness. How can Charlie do this to me? And what about the piano? The collector tried to take it away, but I stopped him.
Well, you should have let him have it.
Huh?
We just played it to break our lease here.
It's your lease in my pocketbook, madam.
Well, we better hurry up and get ready to leave. Oh, did the men come to turn off the gas?
Yeah, and you should have seen Unc turn on the tears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's my husband now.
Yeah?
There's something about the way he knocks that I can always recognize.
Oh, at last. Hey, Mrs. Dapple, I've been waiting for this moment all afternoon. Do you mind if I hide in the dining room, and then when good old Charlie comes in, I'll jump out and yell surprise? Please, that's all I have left.
Well, that'll be cute. All right, go right ahead.
Leroy, Marjorie, Bertie, I want you to get in on this.
Okay.
Come on, let's hide.
Hello, Charlie, darling.
Oh, you sweetheart. What's the idea of keeping the door locked?
Well, I don't know. In fact, I don't know half of what's been going on around here. Oh, but come into the living room, dear. There's a little surprise for you.
Surprise? What do you mean? Where's the surprise?
Oh, boy, surprise, Charlie, surprise. Yeah, where's Charlie?
I'm Charlie. Who in thunder are you?
Oh, my goodness.
Gee, Unc, what's the matter?
It's that man. I never saw him before. He's the wrong Charlie Dapple.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But first, I wonder why I always talk to the ladies in our audience, because after all, some of us men aren't such bad cooks. Why, I can fry a wonderful egg. I can even make pretty good biscuits. So really, we men should know about delicious Parquet margarine, too. So this is for men only. Next time you men feel like whipping up a batch of biscuits, use Parquet margarine, made by Kraft. You see, Parquet margarine is a real flavor shortening. It adds flavor to all baked foods. So no wonder the wife's cookies and cakes taste better when made with Parquet. And if you like pan-fried foods, you'll find they're tastier, too, when you use Parquet margarine. And you don't have to worry about Parquet spattering or sticking to the pan. Of course, you'll want to use Parquet margarine at the table, for you'll like its delicate, appetizing flavor. Now, maybe you men aren't as interested in nutrition as the women are, but you should know that Parquet margarine is a nourishing energy food that contains vitamin A. So, men, if you can't find Parquet margarine at home, buy a pound or two tomorrow. You'll be pleased to learn that it's mighty economical, too. Just ask the dealer for Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y.
Just a second till I find my key, children.
Oh, I'm tired.
Yes.
Hey, somebody put a note under the door. It's for you, Uncle Mort.
Well, note, eh? I wonder who it's from. Dear pal Throcky, George Fitty just told me you were in town, so I dropped over to see you. Sorry I missed you. Your old pal and sidekick, Charlie Dapple. Good night.
It's time for My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, it's the new Gay Family series starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning. Brought to you by the Jell-O family of desserts.
J-E-L-L. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. Oh, the big red letters stand for the Jell-O family. That's Jell-O.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O puddings.
Yum, yum, yum.
Jell-O tapioca puddings. Yes, sirree.
And now Lucille Ball with Richard Denning as Liz and George Cooper. Two people who live together and like it. Well, as we look in on the Coopers, it's about 10 o'clock at night, and Liz and George are just coming home. They've put the car in the garage and are walking around the house to the front door.
Brother, that makes me sore. The Rickies invite us to spend the evening with them, and after we drive all the way over there, they aren't even home.
Well, that's the last time we make any plans with them.
Liz, are you sure?
Stop right there. I know what you're going to say. Are you sure you had the right night? Yes, George, I'm sure. 8 o'clock Saturday night.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Liz, tonight is Friday night.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. We don't go to the Rickies till tomorrow night.
You mean you'd go after the way they treated us tonight?
Liz, they don't even know about it. It's your absent-mindedness that caused this.
Oh, I'm sorry, George, but everybody forgets things sometimes.
Granted. But do you have to make a full-time job of it?
Oh, I'm not as absent-minded as you try to make out.
All right. Open the door.
Why don't you open it? Did you forget your key?
No. You borrowed it this morning because you lost yours, remember?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have it right here in my purse. Here, George, hold some of these while I look for it. My compact, and my slips and comb, and file, mirror, and handkerchief, and chewing gum, and fountain pen, safety pin, billfold, library card, lucky dollar, sunglasses.
Oh.
Oh, it's not here. I'll try the other side of my purse.
Never mind. I don't want to be here all night. I'll ring the doorbell. Liz, I don't understand it. That's the 5th door key I've given you this month. What do you do with them?
I give them to strange men.
Well, that's a clever remark.
Yes. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper, you're home.
Yes, Katie, our social secretary got the date wrong.
So I made a little teensy mistake. And then we got over there and the Rickies weren't home. I could have told you that. They were here. Here? Yes, ma'am. They said you invited them for dinner tonight. Oh.
That does it.
Now, George.
This is getting serious, Liz. Who knows where it could lead? First, you forget little things. Your keys, social engagements. Pretty soon you forget your friends, your family. You forget who you are. They find you wandering in the streets. They take you to a sanitarium. Give you shock treatment. But nothing does any good. And there you are. A shell. A nameless nobody.
Thank you, Olivia de Havilland.
Oh.
I don't like to forget things, but what can I do about it?
You know, I was just thinking. Joe Ridgely down at the office took a course in memory training, and it did wonders for him.
Go to a school? I wouldn't think of such a thing. Why, that's like admitting that you're a... Well, I just wouldn't do it. I'm not that bad. By the way, Mrs. Cooper, what dress did you wear tonight? My blue one. Your blue one? Why, that's still hanging in your room. Huh?
Well, it's a good thing they weren't home, so you didn't have to take your coat off.
Nah, you don't think I forgot to put on my... Wait a minute. Turn the other way while I peek under my coat. Yikes! What's the name of that school, George?
There Here it is, Liz. Dr. Milmoss's Memory School.
Oh, George, I feel so silly, and I'm a half hour early.
I'm sorry, dear, but I'm taking the car, and I have to get to work.
All right. Goodbye, honey. Kiss me.
Goodbye, dear.
Bye. Good morning, Dr. Milmoss.
That's right.
I'm Mrs. Cooper.
Oh, you're going to be a fine pupil. You can remember your name.
Tell me honestly, can you improve a person's memory?
Depends on how many buttons you got left. Now, let me test you and see what condition your mind's in, huh? How old are you?
25.
Yeah. What year were you born in?
I'm 25.
So you've forgotten which year you were born in, huh?
No, I've forgotten which year makes me come out 25.
Well, never mind. We're going to try something else now. Try and remember everything that happened since you woke up this morning.
All right. The alarm went off, and George, he's my husband, tried to make me get up, and he tickled my feet, and so I jumped up and tickled him, and we started a pillow fight. And then he grabbed me and kissed me on the neck, and I kissed him. That's not what you meant, is it?
No, but don't stop now.
Well, I had breakfast, read the paper, and came down here.
Don't worry. My system will fix you so you'll never forget a thing again. See, the secret is confidence. Don't be afraid. Think big.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be the biggest thinker you ever had. That doesn't sound right, does it?
It's all done with association of ideas. Each word makes you think of another one.
Uh-huh.
Now, take your name, Cooper. First syllable, coo. That's the thinking, the bird. The second syllable's purr. That's what cats do. So I think of a kitten.
Oh, that's pretty clever. Bird and a kitten.
That's right. Now, I can never forget that your name is Birdie Katz.
Well, that's a great system.
I mean Cooper, of course. Now, for your first lesson, we'll teach you an important number, huh? What's the license number of your car?
You certainly asked the right person.
You've forgotten it?
No, I never knew it in the first place. Oh, wait a minute. It's written on my driver's license. Let's see. Oh, here it is. 37 MW66.
Oh, good. Now, what's 37 remind you of?
My husband's age. See, I remember because he's 5 years older than I am. Oh, well, anyway, that's his age.
All right, now, and MW?
MW, May West.
Good, good. That brings us now to 66, which is the number of the Lincoln Highway.
Uh-huh. See, my husband, May West, and the Lincoln Highway, 37 MW66. Oh, Dr. Milmoss, you're wonderful.
Oh, sure, I ain't so much. Well, that's all for your first lesson now. I got to go out and see a patient on Bundy Drive.
Oh, I live on Bundy Drive. Let me take you. My car's right outside.
Oh, thank you. Well, we've been looking for your car for 10 minutes, Miss Cooper. Can't you remember where you parked?
Oh, but I know my license number.
Oh, that's fine.
Back down this block once more. I'm sure I parked it here.
Oh, my patient's going to be furious. And I was doing so well with her, too. It's an amnesia case, you know. At the slightest provocation, she'd walk around with her arms in front of her saying, "Where am I?"
Well, did you cure her?
Practically. Now she says, "Who am I?" Yeah, but anybody can cure that. You see your car yet, Miss Cooper?
No, and I can't find my keys either. I'm positive I parked it right here. Dr. Milmoss has been stolen.
No.
Yes. There's only one thing to do. I'll call the police.
Well, there's a payphone in that cigar store right there.
Oh, thanks. Oh, dear, this is awful. George will blame the whole thing on me.
Police headquarters, Sergeant Nelson speaking.
Hello, this is Mrs. George Cooper. I put a stolen car.
Okay, describe the car, please.
Well, it's a new Nash. It's a beautiful shade of green. See, my husband bought it because it goes so well with my red hair.
Well, send your head in and we'll hold it up against all our green cars. If it clash, it's not yours.
I don't like your attitude.
Yeah, would you care to give me just a teensy-weensy bit more description to go on?
Well, it has 4 wheels and an engine and 4 doors.
Oh, we'll find that right away. It's so amusing.
Well, what do you want to know?
Something important. Does the cigarette lighter work?
Yes, but you have to hold it and push it to the right.
never mind. And Mrs. Cooper, I'm going to hate myself for this. But do you by any chance know your license number?
I certainly do. I memorized it just today.
All right, what is your license number?
My husband is on the Lincoln Highway, and why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Never mind the license number. What's your telephone number?
No. My license number is 37MW66.
We'll send out a radio call for your car right away. But you'll have to come down to the station and make out a written report.
Oh, do I have to?
Yes, it's the law. Besides, I'd like to see what you look like.
Okay, come on, you. Here he is, Sarge. I caught him red-handed driving down Main Street in a Cooper car.
Yeah, nice work, Joe. You guys never learn, do you? You can't get away with a hot car in this town.
What hot car? I own that car. I'm George Cooper.
You got that name off the registration card.
What is this, anyway? Look. Here, look in my wallet. That ought to prove who I am.
Yeah, let's see. Uh-huh. How do you like that, Joe? He stole Cooper's wallet, too.
Oh. Look, all you have to do is call the Second National Bank. I'm vice president.
Oh, of course you are. And I'm President Truman. And this is Margaret.
Sure.
Charmed, I'm sure. I'm sorry we didn't know you were coming. We would have fixed up the East Wing for you.
Now, just a minute. I'm going to call my lawyer and sue you for false arrest.
Are you now? Lock him up, Maggie.
Okay, Pop.
Come on, you.
Sergeant Nelson?
Yes?
I'm Mrs. Cooper.
Oh, well, I have good news for you, Mrs. Cooper. We recovered your car already, and we've got the crook.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now I won't have to go through a scene with George.
Well, you intend to prosecute, don't you?
I certainly do. Whoever did such a low, mean trick should get the hot seat. What kind of a man is it?
Oh, the usual criminal type. Shifty eyes, weak chin, sloping forehead.
Uh-huh.
Joe, bring in that car thief, will you?
Okay, Chief.
Oh, he sounds awful. I'm kind of frightened.
No, don't worry. We got the handcuffs on him.
Okay.
Here he is, Sarge.
Liz, what's going on? What's the meaning of this?
You know her? Mrs. Cooper, just what is going on here? Well, Mrs. Cooper.
Liz has had George arrested as a car thief by mistake, and to cover up her embarrassment has feigned amnesia. Well, George has convinced the police who he is, but they're having trouble trying to snap Liz out of it.
Where am I?
Liz, darling, don't you recognize your own husband?
Are you speaking to me, mister?
Mister? Oh, Liz, look at me. That's it. Now I want to ask you a question. Who am I?
Don't you know who you are either?
Certainly I know who I am.
Then what are you asking me for?
Oh, yeah, let me try to snap her out of it. I know all about this mental stuff. I read the medical page of Time magazine. She's suffering from magnesia.
Amnesia. Well, see what you can do.
Okay, now look, Mrs. Cooper. Try and remember. You're married.
I am?
Yes. And you have a wonderful husband.
I do?
He loves you very much.
He does?
And you're both very happy.
We are?
Yes. He's here now. There's been some trouble, but everything's all right, and he wants to take you home.
Oh.
Don't you recognize him?
Oh, yes, of course. My wonderful husband. Kiss me.
Hey, not him, me. Now stop that.
You keep out of there!
What's the big idea? Come here, Liz. Let me kiss you. That ought to make you remember who you are.
All right.
Now do you know who you are?
No, but whoever I am, it's a lot of fun.
Well, I'll buzz for the police psychiatrist.
Oh, poor Liz. Now try to remember, Liz. If you'll just snap out of it, I'll forgive you anything you've ever done.
You will? I mean, the clouds are beginning to go away. The sky is clearing. It's real pretty out.
Oh, thank goodness. Now tell me why you had me arrested for stealing my own car.
Here comes the smog again. Where am I?
You better leave it to the psychiatrist, Mr. Cooper. She's in a bad way. Somebody ring for Dr. Grimley? Yes, Doctor. Come in, please. Okay, which one of you characters snapped your twitch? Who you got for me this time, Sergeant? I have a lady, Doctor. Oh, she looks like a good one. Come over here, dear.
Now, wait a minute. Let's talk this over.
She's got amnesia. Can't remember who you are, huh?
No.
Roll up your sleeves, dear.
Why?
I'm going to give you a little shot of a new medicine.
Oh, what'll it do to me?
I don't know. I never give it before.
Hello, George. Hi, Sergeant. I'm Pure George. Let's go home. Goodbye, Doctor.
Hey, come back here. Live!
Well, don't walk so fast, George. Are you mad, George? You're not angry at me, are you, George?
No, I'm delighted.
I'm sorry. I thought if you thought I had amnesia, you wouldn't be mad at me. And I can't stand to have you mad at me, George. 'Cause I love you so much.
No, that's not going to get you anyplace.
Tell me you still love me, George.
I love you.
Kiss me.
Not here on the street.
Right here. Now you kiss me, George. I want the whole world to know you love me.
Now, Liz.
Come here.
Where am I?
Oh, that's better. We're pals again, huh, George?
Okay. Now, let's get out of here.
The sooner the better. Where's the car?
I parked it right on the corner.
I don't see it.
That's funny. It's not there.
Oh, now, George, don't joke with me.
I'm not. I remember distinctly. The cop followed me here, and I parked it right on this corner and went into the station.
George, does that mean...
No, it's got to be here someplace.
Did you make the last payment to the finance company?
No, of course.
Oh, George, it really has been stolen this time.
I'm afraid you're right. You realize what this means, Liz? Someone has to go tell Sergeant Nelson.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Someone does, all right. I guess one of us has to march right back in there and tell him.
I guess one of us does.
Well, one of us is in there telling him I'll watch out for the crooks.
Oh, no.
George, it was your fault. You were the last one to have the car.
Yeah, but you started the whole thing. If you hadn't had me arrested, I wouldn't have had to be here where it was stolen.
Oh, but George,
Well, let's look at it this way. If I go in, they'll think I'm crazy. Now, you haven't got anything to lose.
You talked me into it. I'll be right back.
Hey, Joe.
Yes, Sarge?
I've been thinking about that couple who call themselves Cooper. You remember a circular on a couple of car thieves called Red Top Rosie and her accomplice Willie the Weasel?
Yeah. They used to report a car stolen. When the police picked it up, they'd claim it with false credentials. You think it was them?
Well, it could be. Look them up in the files, will you?
Okay, Chief.
Pardon me, Sergeant. I want to report a stolen car.
Yes, madam. What was the It's you again.
Yes, hello.
It's okay, Chief. I got it covered.
Good work.
Put down that gun. What is this?
The jig is up, Rosie.
Rosie who?
Don't try to deny it. You're Red Top Rosie. And the guy you're working with is Willie the Weasel.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You've got the wrong people.
Then who are you?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
He's Cooper the Snooper, and I'm Lizzie the Louse.
You're pretty smart, aren't you? Wait a minute. What do you want, Doc? Turn her over to me, will you, Sarge?
Uh-oh. Snake Pit is back again.
I
make her talk.
Okay, Doc, go ahead. Get those files out, Joe.
Okay, son. Come here, Miss Cooper.
You stay away from me with that needle. Go and knit something.
No, I'm not going to use no needle. I'm going to hypnotize you. And just relax.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Relax. You are under my power. Your eyes are getting heavier and heavier. Your will is given into mine. I am the master. You are a servant. Slowly you are going to sleep. Sleep. You understand? Yes, master.
Oh, what happened to him?
The weakest mind went first. Come on, snap out of it, son.
Here, grab her. It's Red Top Rosie.
No, it's all right, Sarge. I warned you the last time you watched me hypnotize. Did I do it again? Yeah. But you didn't make me do anything silly, did you?
Yes, he did, Sergeant. You did a wonderful strip tease.
No, of course you didn't, Sarge. All right. I'll try another tack on you, sister. Weight association. That'll tell me everything I want to know about you.
Must we go through more of this?
Yes, we must. You're in a bad spot, understand?
Relax, you are under my power. Your eyes are getting heavier and heavier.
Yes, master. Now cut that out, will you? Do what he says. Now, it's very simple, Miss Cooper. Whatever word I say, you say the first thing that comes into your mind. If I say cheese, you say crackers. Follow?
I say crackers.
Fine. Now, don't think. Answer as fast as you can. Cheese.
Crackers.
Animal.
Crackers.
Nut.
Crackers.
Auto.
Crackers.
No.
Crackers.
Stop.
Crackers.
Please.
Crackers.
Shut up.
Crackers. Well, what'd you learn from that, Doc?
Miss Cooper, you are not supposed to repeat the same word. You change it each time, and I tell from your answer what you're really thinking.
Oh, well, all right. Go ahead.
Okay. Cheese.
Crackers.
Dog.
Cat.
Auto.
George.
Police.
Robert. Robert.
Police.
George.
Auto.
Cat.
Dog.
Crackers.
Cheese.
Well, this is where I came in. So long, kid.
Who's doing what to who?
I've had enough of this dame. She's Red Top Rosie, all right? Lock her up.
Wait a minute, Sarge. Here's the poster. She ain't Red Top Rosie. Rosie's been in jail for 2 years.
Oh, that's too bad.
All right, you get out of here.
All right, but you better find my car.
I'm so anxious to see the last of you, I'll go out and help look for it myself.
And then the other policeman came in with a poster and they let me go. What do you think of that, Willie the Weasel?
I wondered what took you so long. Oh, the scrapes you can get into.
Oh, I'll be happy to get into my bed. I didn't realize it was such a long walk home. George, look.
What?
There, our car.
Are you sure?
Positive. Look at the license number, 37MW66.
Well, I'll be darned. Come on, get in. We'll drive it home.
Okay.
Oh, no wonder they left it here. Out of gas.
George, it's the police.
Okay, you. Where do you think you're going with that stolen?
Well, what do you got to say this time?
Where am I?
You have been listening to My Favorite Husband, starring Lucille Ball with Richard Denning, and based on characters created by Isabel Scott Rohrig. Tonight's program was produced and directed by Jess Oppenheimer, who wrote the script with Madeline Pugh and Bob Carroll Jr. Original music was composed by Marlon Skiles and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. The part of Katie the Maid was played by Ruth Parrott. Lucille Ball will soon be seen in the Paramount picture Sorrowful Jones. Be sure to listen to Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband next week. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
at Parky's.
John, I love that farm, but I'm sick and tired of looking at those sheep and cows. I think the most stupid animal in the world is a sheep, don't you?
Yes, my lamb.
Why, you...
Why be irritated? Light an old gold and meet me at Parky's.
Yes, everybody meets at Parky's. So come along to Parky's restaurant and say hello to David Street, Betty Rhodes, Opie Cates and his orchestra, and our genial host, the star of our show, Park Your Carcass.
Oh, boy, this is some write-up about me in the papers. Lion-hearted Park Your Carcass makes monkey out of Charlie the Rat by capturing him with bare hands. Monkeys, lions, and bears. A man like me should be in a zoo. Imagine me, Park Your Carcass, the town hero. All because I captured that notorious criminal Charlie the Rat. I didn't know he was such a big gangster. But they tell me he's wanted all over the United States. All the way from Los Angeles to Glendale. Boy, didn't I feel proud when they called me into the office of the district maternity. Gave me a reward of $2,500. And that come just in the right time. Not only was I able to pay off the bank the $1,000 so he wouldn't take away my restaurant, but I made a wonderful deal with an uncle of mine. I helped him out at the same time. I loaned him $750, and in 10 years going to pay me back $1,000. That Uncle Sam is a nice fellow, and he's done plenty for me, too. You know, even after buying the bond and paying off the bank, I still had $750 left. So I opened up a savings account with it in the bank this morning. Say, I think I'll call him up, ask him how much interest I got so far. Oh, hello, David Street.
Hiya, Parky. Say, you're a real hero capturing Charlie the Rat. The whole town's talking about you.
Talking about me? Mm-hmm. Why, David, that's libel.
Libel?
Yes, libel to get me a lot of business. That's wonderful.
Parky, my editor wants me to do a big story on you. Now, I've jotted down a few questions because I wanted to get your background.
Oh, anything you want to know, David, just ask me.
Okay. Now, Parky, you were born in Greece.
Yes, in a little town called Papathirios Stephanos Kolopoupolis.
Wait a minute. How do you spell that?
Oh, that's the town's name in Greek. But you can use the English name for it.
What's the English name?
Pomona.
Now, Parky, tell me exactly when you were born.
Well, David, there's a little mix-up on that. You see, in the old country, they don't keep very good records. So my uncle says I was born in 1845, but my aunt says I was born in 1712.
1845, 1712? Why, that's impossible.
I told you they was all mixed up. But fortunately, only yesterday I got a letter from my sister, and she cleared the whole thing up. She told me the right year I was born.
Good. What is it?
1941.
1941? Yeah. Parky, that would mean you're only 4 years old.
That's right, David. I'll be 5 in September. You think I'm big for my age?
Parky, you're only kidding me. And I can see that I can't get very much out of you. So if you don't mind, I'll write the story in my own way.
All right. Oh, hello, Betty Rhodes. Come in, Betty.
Hello, Parky. Hello, David.
Hiya, Betty.
Well, Parky, how's my big brave man today? Did you catch any more gangsters?
Say, Betty, I was just thinking last night, why wouldn't that be a good business for me to go into, catching gangsters? You look, I caught one and I got $2,500. All I got to do is to catch 10 a year and I'll make $25,000. Oh, it takes a few minutes.
Well, Parky, I can only tell you that you're the talk of the town.
Really?
Uh-huh. I was just over at the Women's Club, and they want you to make a speech at next Tuesday's meeting.
Me make a speech?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not a good spoker. I wouldn't know what to spook about.
Oh, you don't have to say very much, Parky. They just want to get a good look at the big hero.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Mr. David Street. You're coming over to the Women's Club on Tuesday, too. I told him you'd be happy to sing a couple of songs.
That's right, David, and I'll introduce you. Let's make believe it's next Tuesday and I'm on the platform at the Women's Club, and I say, "Dear women and ladies, it is practically a pleasure to present for you my good friend David Street, the romantic monotone." Who will sing for you a beautiful song called... what are you going to sing, David?
The More I See You.
Oh, I have only one request to make. Please do not throw any pennies during the song. But after he finishes, I'll be glad to pass the hat. Very truly yours, Sparky Caucus. Go ahead, I'm only kidding.
The more I see you, the more I want you. Somehow this feeling just grows and grows. With every sigh, I become more mad about you, more lost without you. And so it goes. Can you imagine how much I love you? The more I see you, as years go by, I know the only one for me can only be you. My arms won't free you, my heart won't try. Sigh, I become more mad about you, more lost without you. And so it goes. Can you imagine how much I love you? The more I see you, as years go by, I know the only one for me can only be you. My arms won't free you, my heart won't try.
Oh, you sang that beautifully, David.
Quiet, kids, quiet. I think I hear somebody moving around in the kitchen. Maybe it's another gangster. Gee, I could use another $2,500. We'll split it 3 ways. I'll capture him. I'll bring him back alive. I'll jump right on his back. Quiet now, quiet. There, I got you. Don't move that.
Hey, Parky, will you please get off my back? What's the idea of jumping on me like that?
Oh, it's you, Bob Williams. I'm sorry. I thought you was a gangster and I was going to capture you.
A gangster? Well, of all the stupid...
There. Why be irritated? Light an old goal. Say, I just got an idea, Bob. Listen, I'm got to go to the Women's Club next Tuesday. They want me to make a speech. Now, you're a good spoker. What would you suggest that I spike about?
Hello, Parky.
Oh, hello, Uppy Gates.
Congratulations, Parky. I heard about you capturing that gangster.
Yeah.
Sure wish I had a hand in that. And I hear the town's going to give you a big celebration. And I'd like to have a hand in that, too.
Yeah.
And I also hear that you got a reward of $2,500.
Yeah, but you ain't going to get a hand in that.
Why, Parky, I'm surprised at you. Do you think for 1 minute that our friendship depends on your money?
Well, does it?
Well, as long as you put it that way, yes. Oh, I was only kidding. Since everybody in town is showering the town hero with gifts, I brought you a little present, too.
Oh.
Something that's been in my family for many generations.
Well, thank you, Uppy. What is it?
This here antique watch. It belonged to my grandfather. It was his good luck piece.
Good luck piece, huh?
Yeah. My grandfather wore this watch when he fought in the Battle of Tiger Creek.
Battle of Tiger Creek? Who did your grandfather fight with?
My grandmother. Then he joined his outfit at the Battle of Bull Run, and he was wearing this good luck watch right over his heart when a bullet hit him.
And this good luck watch saved your grandfather's life.
No, he was killed.
This is a fine good luck watch. Look, the hands don't even move.
Parky, when you get as old as this watch, your hands won't be able to move either.
Hoppy, since you're so nice to me, I want to be nice to you, too. Now, you owe me a bill of $108 for the food for you and your boys for the last 6 months. Now, I'm going to forget about half that bill. All you owe me is half.
Gee, Parky, that's mighty nice of you to forget half that bill.
Yes, sir.
And just to show you what I think of you, I'm going to forget the other half.
Well, that's fair enough. I'll forget one half and you forget the other half. You know, that sounds all right now, but when I figure this thing out in the morning, I know I'm going to hate myself. I better go and see who's coming in the front door, Uppy.
You Mr. Parky Carcass?
Yes?
My name is Sharp. Orville Sharp.
Sharp? What
Yeah.
can I do for you, Mr. Sharp?
What can you do for me?
Yeah.
You mean, what can I do for you, Bud? Are you sure we're alone?
Yes.
Here, bend over closer. I don't want nobody else to hear this. You see, my business is taking your money.
Taking my money?
Yes. And investing it for you. I'm what you call a investment counselor.
Oh.
Why, you can't imagine how happy I was when I read in the newspapers that we have $2,500.
We have $2,500?
Yeah.
Since when did you become a partner? Look, I never seen you before in my whole life.
Listen, Bud, you gotta have confidence in a man like me.
Well, maybe you're right. You do look like a confidence man.
Natch! Now, how much money did you say we had?
Well, we have exactly $750 left.
Now, listen, chum. Yeah. Although I just met you, I already feel very close to you.
But you don't have to come that close. You can take your hands out of my pocket.
Well, now, I just wanted to get the money so we don't lose no time in investing it.
Oh, I don't keep no money with me. I keep the money in the bank.
In the bank?
Sure.
Why, that's the silliest place I ever heard of keeping money.
Could they sue me for that?
Natch! Now, look. Listen to me, Mr. Parky Carcass. Yeah. I want you to go to the bank and take out that $750, see? Then you turn it over to me, see? And in 1 year's time, we'll make over 1 million berries.
Gee, 1 million berries?
Yeah.
With cream?
Natch! Why, I want to tell you something, Mr. Parker Carcass. I'm known from coast to coast as one of the smartest operators in the country. You must have read about me. You got today's paper?
No, I ain't. Is your name in it?
No, I just wanted to stuff it in my shoes. These holes are getting pretty big.
You know something? As soon as you make your next $1 million, you ought to buy yourself a pair of shoes.
Now, listen, pal. I want you to have our 750 simoleons here for me tomorrow. Because I want to make you as successful as I am. Understand?
Natch.
Okay, then. I'll see you tomorrow. By the way, Bud, could you lend me a dime for car fare? See, I don't want to break one of my large bills.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Here's a dime.
Better make that a quarter. I got to pay my hotel bill, too. You see, my week is up tonight. Gee, thanks, partner. I won't forget you. You'll be seeing a lot of me. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Say, Parky, what did that awful-looking man want?
Awful-looking? Why, Betty, that man is a millionaire.
A millionaire?
Sure.
He looks like a tramp.
Well, maybe he's a poor millionaire. Oh, Betty, will you answer that phone, please?
Okay. Hello, Parky's restaurant. Who? The mayor's office. What? The mayor wants to present the key to the city to Parky? Gee, that's wonderful. Yes, I'll tell Parky. Yes, I'll send him over to the mayor's office right away. Okay, goodbye. Oh, Parky.
Yeah, what is it?
Parky, the mayor's office just called. They want you to go over there at once. The mayor wants to give you the key to the city.
The key to the city?
Uh-huh.
Well, what do you know, Betty? For years I've been going in and out of the city, never knew you had to have a key.
Now, Parky, you run upstairs and get dressed and get over to the mayor's office right away. And, gee, I'm proud of you.
The mayor called me. What do you know? The key to the city.
Obie Cates' his clarinet in this orchestra play, When You're Smiling.
Pardon you, lady. Is this the mayor's office? My name is Parkakakis.
Oh, Mr. Parkakakis. Yes, His Honor, the mayor has been waiting for you.
Oh.
You may go right into his private office. But let me warn you, you may find the mayor is a bit absent-minded. But don't let it disturb you.
Absent-minded, huh? Well, I'll take care. Thank you very much.
Go right in.
Well, welcome, sir, and come right into my office.
Your office? Why, you're standing in a clothes closet.
I am? I thought it was a little stuffy in here. Let's go outside. This is much better. Quite an office you have here, Your Honor.
Your Honor? I'm not the mayor. Ain't you the mayor?
Why, of course I'm the mayor. Who are you to question me? I was duly elected by the people to serve as mayor for a period of 6 years, to the best of my ability, for the people's welfare. As a servant of the fine people of a great city. And furthermore, if I am elected,
Wait a minute. Your Honor, you was elected.
I was?
Sure.
Then why do you pretend that you're the mayor?
I'm done pretending. Don't you remember me? You sent for me. I'm Parkakakis.
Oh, Parkakakis.
Sure.
Of course, I sent for you.
I know you did.
In fact, I wanted to be sure that I saw you this afternoon before I did another single thing.
Well, thank you.
There are very few citizens in this great city that I would see before I saw Parkakakis.
Oh, thank you.
The people of this great city will never forget the great thing that you have done.
Let's see, what did you do?
I'm the fellow who captured Charlie the rat.
Oh, of course, yes, Charlie the rat. Well, I'm very glad to know you. Sit down, Charlie.
Look, Your Honor, I'm not Charlie.
No?
I'm Pakyakakis. I was the fellow who captured Charlie the rat. He's supposed to be one of the biggest gangsters in the whole country.
A gangster, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, Charlie, let me tell you one thing. We have no room for gangsters in this city. I'm going to give you 24 hours to clear out. If I see any sign of you within the city limits by tomorrow night, you'll be a very unhappy man. Now, get out, get going fast.
Wait a minute, Your Honor. I got $2,500.
Oh, trying to bribe me. Get out.
But, Your
Do
Honor...
you hear me? Get out. There's no room for rats like you in this town. Get out.
This is the craziest guy I ever seen in my life.
Betty Rhodes sings A Kiss Goodnight.
A kiss goodnight is all right, but remember this, that a kiss goodnight leads to another kiss. A kiss goodnight with a hug real tight is nothing short of bliss. And a kiss goodnight leads to another kiss. It's an old custom for a boy and a girl to embrace in a secluded place. Little Mr. Cupid never could be quite so stupid as to do a turnabout face. So it just ain't right to kiss goodnight and stop at 3 or 4. 'Cause a kiss goodnight leads to a dozen or more. Goodnight with a hug real tight is nothing short of bliss. And a kiss goodnight leads to another kiss. It just ain't right to kiss goodnight and stop at 3 or 4. When it's time to part and the good night start, it just ain't right to end the night with just one kiss. I want a dozen or more.
Glad I found you. There's been a terrible mistake. The mayor is so sorry. I finally explained who you were, and he wants you to come back with me at once. He has a medal he wants to present to you.
I knew he must have made a mistake.
Oh, yes. Now, you go right inside and see him. Everything will be all right, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Oh, come right in, Mr. Pakyakakis.
Yes.
I'm so sorry I was confused, but one does have a lot of things on one's mind when one is mayor of a great city, doesn't one?
I guess one does.
Yes. Sometimes one does get a little mixed up, one does.
Oh, that's all right, Your Honor. One.
Mr. Pakyakakis.
Yes?
Our citizens are proud of what you've done. And in behalf of a grateful city, it is my honor to present you with this medal.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, is this for me? My, what a beautiful medal.
Yes. Now, as I tie this medal around your neck with this blue ribbon, you will understand what this great city thinks of you.
Gee, all I can say is thanks very much, Your Honor. Gee, I'm so proud. My, this is such a beautiful medal. Let me read what it says here. Oh, Your Honor, this medal can't be for me. You must have made a mistake.
Nonsense. Read aloud, my boy, the thrilling words inscribed upon that medal.
Okay, but I still say there must be some mistake. It says, to the best dog in the show.
For the further adventures of Park Your Carcass, Betty Rhodes, Opie Cates and his orchestra, and David Street, tune in again next Sunday, same time, same station. Is it a date? Okay. Meet me at Parky's.
From Hollywood, Colgate Tooth Powder presents The Mel Blanc Show with Mary Jane Croft, Joe Kearns, Jerry Hausner, Hans Conried, Earl Ross, the sportsman, Victor Miller and his orchestra, and starring the creator of the voice of Bugs Bunny.
What's up, Doc?
Yes, Colgate Tooth Powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you The Mel Blanc Show with Mel playing his new character, Zookie.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi.
And starring himself in person, Mel Blanc.
Hi, folks. Ugga boo, boo ugga.
Winter is late in coming to Mel Blanc's little town, and young lovers are taking advantage of the good weather by occupying lonely park benches. On a bench in one secluded spot of the park, Mary Jones is saying to her boyfriend,
Tom, here comes the policeman. You better take your arm down.
and in another secluded spot, Shirley Adams is saying to her boyfriend,
Bob, here comes a policeman. Better stop kissing me.
and in another dimly lit spot where Betty Colby is sitting with her boyfriend, Mel Blanc, Betty is saying,
Nell, here comes a policeman. Better stop feeding the squirrels.
Well, the evening progressed, time passed, and once again Betty spoke.
Oh, Mel, can't you be more romantic?
Oh, I'm sorry, Betty. May I hold your hand?
Of course.
May I put my arm around you?
Uh-huh.
May I kiss you?
But Mel...
Oh. Pardon me, officer. Do you mind getting up so I can sit next to my girl? Thanks.
You can kiss me now, Mel. Well?
Officer, haven't you got any place to go? No, I don't have to check in till 9 o'clock. Come on, Betty. Let's walk back to the fix-it shop.
Oh, what a way to spend an evening. I should have listened to my father and gone out with Willie Murdoch tonight.
Oh, Betty, let's not argue now. You look so beautiful tonight.
Oh, thanks, darling.
Just like the cover girl on this month's Hardware Journal.
That's sweet.
Miss Pressure Cooker of 1947. Hey, look, Betty, I'm going to show your father who's better, Willie or me. Tomorrow night, I'm going to really take you out. I'll show you the best time you ever had.
That's wonderful, Mel.
First, I'll take you to dinner. You'll eat and eat and eat until you'll never be able to look at another Frankfurter.
So that's your idea of a good time, Mel Blanc. No wonder Father likes Willie better. In fact, Father may announce our engagement any day.
What? Oh, we can't do that. Betty, we'll elope.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, no. No, that's terrible. I just remembered his new shotgun.
Oh, Mel, stop worrying. You know Father never shoots anything but blank.
That's what I'm worried about.
You are a coward. You just haven't any courage.
Well, you're right, Betty. I can't figure it out. I'm such a good actor, and when I act like a tough guy, I'm really tough. Why can't I be like that all the time?
Oh, you can't even act tough.
Oh, no? Listen to this. Okay, copper. This is it, see? I'm going to let you have it, see? You got a minute to live, see? Officer, why must you keep following us around like this?
I just want to be sure this young lady got you home all right. So long, O'Brien.
O'Brien. You see, Betty, he thought I was Pat.
No, Margaret.
Well, here's your fix-it shop, Mel. I'm going home now. What about the elopement?
Well, listen, Betty. We're eloping at 12 midnight, see? You'll be ready, and I'll bring the gat, see?
The gat?
Yeah, the stepladder. Well, so long, Betty, see?
So long, Mel. I'll be ready.
Okay, Betty, see? Look for me. I'll be waiting for you. Step up and... Oh, hello, Mr. Colby. How are you tonight?
Blank, you were out with my daughter Betty tonight, weren't you?
Oh, how did you know, Mr. Colby?
As soon as she came home, she went to the kitchen and made herself a sandwich.
Gosh, no wonder Betty told me to stop feeding those squirrels. I didn't know she was hungry.
Oh, now listen, you nincompoop. I told you to stay away from my daughter. You don't seem to be getting the idea. Maybe you'll get it better if I mop up the floor with you.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Mr. Colby.
Oh, you mean you get the idea?
No, I mopped up the floor this morning.
Oh. Now, see here, Mel. Just stay away from the house, and that's all.
Yes, sir, Mr. Colby.
And don't try to call, either.
Yes, sir, Mr. Colby.
And don't send any letters.
Yes, sir, Mr. Colby.
And don't keep saying, yes, sir, Mr. Colby.
Yes, sir, Mr. Jones.
Oh, goodbye.
Oh, Blank, you have no courage. You're nothing but a jam fish. Jelly's too good for you. Why didn't you talk up to him? Why didn't you say, listen, Mr. Colby, I'm not afraid of you, see? I'm tougher than you are, see? And I'll... What am I talking about? He's liable to kill me. Gosh, I'm afraid to elope tonight. What am I going to do? I know. Ozuki!
What do you want, Mel?
Look, Zuki, I'm supposed to elope with Betty at midnight tonight. I want you to go over and tell her I won't be there. Now you take the stepladder and you put it up...
Gee, this is romantic. Just like Romeo and Juliet. Hamlet. And now I'll put the ladder up against the house and I'll climb up. Gosh, it's dark. Now I'll open the window.
Nell, darling, you're here. Kiss me. Zuki, it's you.
But thanks anyway.
Where's Mel?
Well, he said to tell you he can't
come.
That's it.
But why?
Betty, what's going on up there?
Oh, it's Father.
Zuki, is that you?
Yeah.
What are you doing up on that ladder?
Oh, I'm painting the house.
Get down here this minute. There. Zuki, did Mel Blank send you here?
Well, yeah, he was supposed to elope with Betty, but he was afraid to come.
Ah, so that's it. You tell him if I ever see him around here again, I'll break every bone in his body.
Oh, okay, Mr. Colby. Gee, poor Mel. For 5 years he's been wanting to marry Betty. He'll never get me. He'll never get me. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Use Colgate tooth powder, keep smiling just right. Use it each morning and use it each night. Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
The ship of love becomes a wreck when a breath of trouble climbs on deck. Yes, that little breath of trouble, unpleasing breath, is fatal to romance. That's why it's so important to use Colgate tooth powder regularly. You see, anyone can be the victim of unpleasing breath. So follow this rule. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder. For Colgate tooth powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. What's more, no dentifrice at any price cleans your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate tooth powder. Remember to buy it first thing. And remember the name, Colgate tooth powder, with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
Now, Victor Miller, the sportsman, and Old Buttermilk Sky.
Old Buttermilk Sky, I'm keeping my eye peeled on you. What's the good word tonight? Are you gonna be mellow tonight? Old Buttermilk Sky, can't you see my little donkey and me? We're as happy as a Christmas tree, heading for the one I love. I'm gonna pop her the question, that question. Do you, darling, do you do? It'll be easy, so easy, if I can only bank on you. Old Buttermilk Sky, I'm telling you why, now you know. Keep it in mind tonight. Keep a brushing those clouds from sight. Old Buttermilk Sky,
don't you fail me when I'm needing you most.
Hang a moon above her hitching post. Hitch me to the one I love. I'm gonna hitch me to the one I love. 'Cause you're the one gal that I'm dreaming of. You can if you try. Don't tell me no lie couldn't fit if you try. Will you be mellow and bright tonight? Buttermilk Sky.
Mel was too frightened to elope with his girl Betty last night, so he sent his assistant Zookie over in his place. Betty's father, Mr. Colby, caught Zookie, and now Mel really is in trouble. But the wonderful thing about Mel is that no matter how trouble piles up on him, he can always concentrate on his work in the fix-it shop. Right now, his clear-thinking brain and nimble fingers are meticulously probing at the inner workings of a Swiss timepiece.
Gosh, I wonder why I haven't heard from Betty. She must hate me.
Swiftly, with experienced fingers, he finds the root of the trouble.
If I only had enough courage, I'd go to Betty's father, and I'd...
Now he gently taps into place the delicate movement of this precision watch.
Ah, now it's working fine. Let's see now. What else was I... Uh-oh. It's that lady killer, Willie Murdoch, the new manager in Mr. Colby's market.
Hi there, Blank. I just came by to tell you that Mr. Colby says he's going to break every bone in your body if you come near the house.
Oh, yeah? Hello, Mel Blank's Fix-It Shop. You bend it, we mend it.
Mel Frank, you coward.
But...
Father has me locked in the house, and if you don't come here at midnight tonight to get me out, I'll never talk to you again.
But, Bet...
You better be there. Goodbye.
But, Bet...
Who was that?
But, Bet...
Oh, Betty. Well, I gotta go now, Blank. And remember, stay away from that house.
Listen, Murdoch. I'm not afraid of Colby, see? Tell him I'm getting tough, see? Tell him what I sound like, see? See? What do I sound like, see?
Like a Mexican saying yes. Oh, here comes Mr. Cushing, your lodge president. So long.
So long.
Hello, Mel. Ugga-boo-boo-ugga.
Greetings, mighty potentate. Ugga-boo, ugga-boo-boo, ugga. Well, how are things at your house?
Wonderful, Mel, wonderful. Nothing like home life. I got the sweetest, most charming little woman in the world.
Mr. Cushing, I never heard you talk like that about your wife.
What wife? I just got a new maid. And what a change it's brought, Mel. The three of us working together, hand in hand.
Hand in hand?
Yes, my wife gave me the back of her hand, but she found my hand in the maid's hand. What a woman. Ha!
Mel, I'd leave her in a minute if she didn't have all that money.
Well, you're not the first man to get into trouble on account of money, Mr. Cushing. Money is the root of all evil.
Yes, Mel, and my wife has such big, fat roots. All she does is accumulate money, buying bonds, clipping coupons, making deposits, burying money.
Well, what's the good of it? She can't take it with her.
I know. She's sending it on ahead. You know, Mel, the only consolation I have is that when she does get there, her check won't be worth the asbestos it's written on. I don't know why I'm standing here telling you all this. It's just that I don't know what it's on.
You think you got troubles, Mr. Cushing? I want to get married to Betty, and Mr. Colby won't let me.
Best friends you ever had.
Oh, but I really want to get married. Besides, if I don't, my rival, Willie Murdoch, will marry her.
Willie will marry Betty?
Yeah.
Best friends you ever had. Mel, I'm going to give you my last word of advice. Take this from a man who knows. Before marriage, everything is wonderful. Strawberries and cream.
And after the marriage?
Hives.
Well, I don't care. I got a trunk full of calamine lotion. My trouble is getting up enough courage to elope with my girl tonight.
What's the matter, afraid?
Yeah. I can't figure myself out. When I act like a tough guy, I'm so tough. If I could only get that actor to become the real me, then I could go up there and elope.
Mel, I know just the man for you to see. Dr. Robert Reamer, a psychiatrist. He'll bring out the tough guy in you.
Well, how come he didn't do it for you?
My wife got to him first. Now, here's his card, Mel. I believe he charges $25 a visit. Well, so long, Brother Zebra.
Oh, so long, mighty potentate. Ugga, ugga, boo, ugga, boo, boo. $25. Ugga. So you see, Doc, Mr. Colby said if I ever came near the house again, he'd break every bone in my body.
Mr. Blank, from what you've told me, I can see that you are reacting neurotically to a normal situation. In other words, you lack the courage to go through with an elopement.
In other words, Doc, I'm too young to die.
Huh. Now I'm going to show you a series of ink blots. No doubt you've seen the picture, The Dark Mirror, in which Lou Ayres shows ink blots to Olivia de Havilland in order to determine her sanity inasmuch as she plays the part of twins and is involved in the murder case.
Look, Doc, I came here to be examined, not to see a preview.
Now. Here is the first of the ink blots. What does this remind you of?
A leaky fountain pen.
No. Now, look at this blot.
That looks like a sardine stain on a breadcrumb surrounded by buttermilk.
Oh, excuse me. I'm showing you the piece of paper I had my lunch on. Well, we'll try word association. Now, I'll mention a word, and you say the first thing that comes into your head. Red.
Green.
Stop.
Go.
Apartment.
I'll take it.
We'd better attempt to delve into your childhood experiences. Lie back. Think. Go back. Back. How far back are you?
Oh,
fine.
Okay, Doc. Doc, snap out of it!
We went too far back. Mr. Blank, I know just what your trouble is. Frustration neurosis. However, you have to be at your elopement by 12 tonight, so we'd better go now.
Oh, but Dr. Reamer, I'm scared.
Don't you worry. I'll accompany you to the Colby house, and by the time we get there, you'll be dominated completely by the actor in you. Now, the first thing to do... Got it straight, Mr. Blank?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Hey, Betty, come on down, see?
Mel, quiet. Father will hear you.
Who cares? Let's go, see? Betty, come on down this minute, see?
Mel Blank,
I didn't think you'd have nerve enough, but this is the end. I've stood enough. I'm not talking anymore, and now I'm gonna...
Quiet, John L. Lewis. Come on, Betty, let's go, say.
Well, Blank, I'm gonna break every bone.
Just a second, everybody. I'm Dr. Rima. I can see you all need some personality adjustment.
Oh,
Quiet, Mr. Colby. Now, if you'll accompany me into the house, I think I can quickly straighten this thing out. I think our talk has been most beneficial.
Use Colgate tooth powder, keep smiling just right. Use it each morning and use it each night. Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
If you're looking for romance, be very sure that no little breath of trouble, unpleasing breath, will come between you and your heart's desire. Just do this. Brush your teeth night and morning and before every date with Colgate tooth powder. For Colgate tooth powder cleans your breath as it cleans your teeth. Yes, night and morning and before every date. Yes, scientific tests have definitely proved that in 7 cases out of 10, Colgate tooth powder instantly stops unpleasing breath that originates in the mouth. As for cleaning, no dentifrice at any price will clean your teeth more quickly and thoroughly than Colgate tooth powder. Remember the name Colgate tooth powder with the accent on powder.
Don't take a chance with your romance. Use Colgate tooth powder.
This is Bud Heaston reminding you that Colgate tooth powder for a breath that's sweet and teeth that sparkle brings you the Mel Blanc Show every Tuesday at this time. Be sure to join us again next Tuesday night for more fun with Mel and the people you'll meet in Mel Blanc's Fix-It Shop.
Say hello to Halo Shampoo for naturally bright and beautiful hair. Remember, even finest soaps and soap shampoos hide the natural luster of your hair with dulling soap film. But Halo Shampoo contains no soap, therefore leaves no dulling soap film. Even in the hardest water, Halo makes oceans of rich, fragrant lather. Quickly banishes loose dandruff and dirt. Halo needs no lemon or vinegar rinse. Say hello to Halo and goodbye to dulling soap film. Get Halo shampoo at any cosmetic counter.
The Mel Blanc Show is written by Mac Benoff. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The United States Armed Forces Radio Service presents My Little Margie, starring Gail Storm and Charles Farrell. Sunday breakfast at the Albrights is usually a relaxed, carefree meal as Margie reads the woman's page of the Sunday paper and her father reads the comics. The financial page. But this morning, neither Margie nor her father is in a happy frame of mind.
Dad, why so glum?
Oh, Connie and I had a spat last night.
What did you do this time?
What do you mean, what did I do? Why does it have to be my fault?
Well, it doesn't have to be, but it usually is.
Well, this time it wasn't.
What started it?
Well, we had a date for dinner, and I stopped off at my club for a cocktail and got into a discussion about stocks and bonds, and I didn't notice the time.
So you were late for your date, huh?
Yes, and Connie didn't believe my story, and one word led to another. She said, you're a prevaricator, and I said, you're a crank. And she said, you're deceitful, and I said, you're insulting. And then she said, you're a savage and human brute and don't know how to treat a sensitive woman, so I said, you're a nagging, cold-blooded hag.
Then what?
Well, after that, we began to argue. She insisted, unless I resign from the club, she won't see me anymore.
Are you going to resign?
I should say not. No woman is going to twist me around her little finger.
Dad, you can't afford to let Connie go out of your life just like that. She's still a young girl, you know. And as for you, it's later than you think.
Well, I'll admit that I'll never see 35 again.
If you did, you'd never recognize it after all these years.
Well, never mind me and my problem. What's wrong with you today? You don't look very happy either.
I'm not. Freddie and I had a quarrel, too. He was supposed to meet me downtown yesterday and take me to a movie, and he was late.
Well, did you see the picture?
No. By the time he showed up, it was 6 o'clock and the price changed.
Well, knowing Freddie, I'll bet he timed it that way.
And then to top it all off, on the way home, we stopped for a bite to eat. The waitress was one of those baby-faced blondes, and Freddie couldn't keep his eyes off of her. When his hamburger came, he poured a whole bottle of ketchup.
Well, what's wrong with that?
He poured it on my ice cream.
Well, believe me, you're going to be a lot better off without Freddie Wilson around.
Oh, I wish I could be as sure of that as you are. When I look at his picture on the mantel, I feel miserable.
I know what you mean. His picture affects me that way, too.
Well, what are you going to do about your situation with Connie?
What do you mean? What am I going to do? If she wants to make up, she knows where to find me.
He said the same thing about you.
Mrs. Odette, were you listening outside our keyhole?
Why, Margie, what makes you think that?
I just took a shot in the dark on account of the words Yale Lock are stamped on your ear.
Oh, what's the difference? Mrs. Odette, what were you saying about Connie?
She phoned a friend of hers and told her that if you wanted to make up, you knew where to find her. I heard the conversation on the party line.
Party line? I never knew that Connie's phone was on your line.
Everybody's phone in this building is on my line.
Well, if Connie thinks I'm going to go crawling to her, she's got another think coming. She's being unreasonable.
Why is it that every time a couple have a quarrel, the man always insists it's the woman who's being unreasonable?
Why should I resign from my club because she wants me to? Mrs. Odette, I'd like to appeal to you as a woman of the world.
Well, you certainly don't appeal to me as a man of the world.
Oh, please, don't you think Connie's being unreasonable? Do you believe in clubs for men?
I certainly do. Every time a third husband got out of line, I used to belt him with them.
Oh, I give up.
Margie, what are you going to do about Freddie?
What am I going to do? Nothing. It's up to him to make the first move.
Well, if you people want me to intercede, I'll be happy to offer my services. I've had a lot of experience straightening out quarreling couples.
You have?
Oh, yes. Take my two friends, Emily and Joe. From the first day that they became engaged, they argued and fought like cats and dogs. I told them what to do, and today they're extremely happy.
What happened?
Each of them married somebody else.
Well, that's probably the best thing for Connie and me to do. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Albright.
Oh, hello, Freddie.
Hello, Mrs. Odette.
Hello, Freddie.
Hiya, Margie.
Ha!
Gee, it got cold all of a sudden. Margie, that's no way to greet me.
Freddie Wilson,
Especially after I brought you a present.
A present? For me? What is it?
A 3-piece sweater set.
A 3-piece sweater set?
Yeah. Here, open it. Well, how do you like it?
Freddie Wilson, is this what you call a 3-piece sweater set?
Sure.
Get a load of this. A ball of yarn and 2 knitting needles. Freddie, this is the last straw.
Oh, it's not straw. It's pure wool.
Oh, I've had enough. I'm going over to Connie's apartment.
Gee, I thought she'd like it.
You knucklehead. What kind of a gift was that to bring? A ball of yarn and 2 knitting needles.
Well, I didn't know her sweater size, and I figured if she had any yarn left over, she could knit me a pair of socks.
Freddie, I'm afraid your goose is cooked.
Gee, Mr. Albright, what am I going to do?
Oh, who cares? I've got my own problem. Women. Bah!
Women. Bah!
Oh, you two men certainly talk big. You couldn't get along without us women.
Who couldn't? What's a woman? As Kipling once said, a woman is just a rag, a bone, and a hank of hair.
Yes, and all men are in the junk business.
Simach, coffee, Margie? Thanks, Connie. How do you like that Freddie Wilson trying to pull that three-piece sweater gag on me? Men are all alike. First they deceive you, and then they try to pull the wool over your eyes. Yeah. Maybe you're not giving Dad the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he was at his club discussing stocks and bonds. More likely, he was discussing stocks and blondes. And then he had the nerve to tell me he got confused with the time, that his watch had daylight time and the clock in the club had standard time. What an excuse. Yeah. He can't two-time me. There's only one thing that makes me hesitate to call him a bare-faced liar. What's that? His mustache. Well, I'm through with men for good. Me too. I wonder if there's a girls' branch of the Foreign Legion.
Gosh, Mr. Albright, if Margie doesn't make up with me, I'll blow my brains out.
With what, a pea shooter? Women, they're a pain in the neck. Can't get along with them, you can't get along without them.
Well, I'm through with them. Who needs them? They just make trouble for you. A man can be a lot happier without women. Ain't that so?
Now, look, chum, you be happy your way, and I'll be happy my way.
Mr. Albright, I've got a confession to make.
Well, don't look at me. I'm not the DA.
What would you say if I told you that I've been a jerk?
I'd agree with you.
Well, that's why I'm going to get down on my knees to Margie and ask her to forgive me.
You'll do nothing of the kind. If you did that, Connie would expect me to do the same thing.
Well, how else are you going to make up?
Well, I ought to teach her a lesson.
How?
Well, go out with another girl.
Yeah, I ought to do the same thing. I got half a mind to.
Oh, that's why no other girl would go out with you. Oh, but where am I going to find another girl to go out with? I don't know any other girls anymore.
I thought you knew a lot of girls.
Oh, I used to. But since I started going with Connie, I burnt my little black book.
You burned it?
Yeah, that's what caused that heat wave last month. Oh, wait a minute. I've got an idea. A friend of mine is a theatrical agent. I'll call him and we'll hire 2 actresses to go out with us. When Connie and Margie see us, well, that'll do the trick.
Oh, boy, actresses. Oh, boy.
I'll call him now. Hello? Hello, Frank Post, theatrical agency? Was that you, Frank? Oh, this is Vern Albright. Frank, I've got a favor to ask. I'd like to hire 2 gorgeous actresses to take to dinner tonight. Oh, no. It's just a gag. Give me their phone number and I'll explain the whole thing to them. Swell. What's their names? Millie and Tilly? Oh, thanks, Frank. Goodbye.
I'll bet he's just pining his poor little old heart out for poor little old me. Yeah, and I'll bet Freddie's pining his poor little young heart out for poor little young me. I wonder what they're doing right now. What can they be doing? Nothing. You know, Connie, I've been thinking, maybe I'm being too rough on Freddie. After all, he's a good kid. Well, so is your father. Kid? Well, anyway, just because I'm miserable, it's no use making that miserable Freddie miserable, too. I feel the same way about Vern. Well, what do you say we swallow our pride and make up with them? I'm all for it. Come on. I guess we're doing the right thing, aren't we, Margie? Oh, of course we are. Well, here comes Mrs. Odette. Well, Mrs. Odette, what happened to you? Where did you get that black eye?
The Websters and 9C just had a lulu of a brawl.
Well, don't tell me you got mixed up in it.
Oh, no, I got this shiner from the doorknob. They opened the door suddenly, and I didn't jump back in time. They wanted to see if anyone was listening at the keyhole. The sneaks. Well, I've got to go and get a steak. See you later.
Poor Mrs. Odette. Yeah, she averages about 2 black eyes a year from doorknobs. I guess she's just not as spry as she used to be. Here we are. Let's go in and humble ourselves. Yes, we ought. Wait a minute. Isn't that Vern's voice?
Oh, that's right, Millie. I'd like to have you meet me at Pierre's for dinner.
He's making a date with another girl.
Tell her to bring a friend along for me.
Freddie, too.
And we thought they were pining away. Oh, Margie, what are we going to do?
I don't know about you, but as for me...
Thanks for letting me wear the snazzy tie of yours, Vern.
That's okay, Freddie.
Cerise is my favorite color. It brings out the sparkle in my baby blue eyes.
Oh, for Pete's sake, put it on and let's get started.
Okay, Vern. By the way, can you lend me a pair of spats, too?
What do you need spats for?
I got holes in my socks.
I'll give you a pair of mine.
Thanks. Hey, gee, do you think this stunt's gonna work?
Oh, of course it will. When Connie sees me with another girl, she'll break her neck to make up with me.
Yeah. Margie will probably do the same thing when she sees me with another girl.
You, I'm not so sure about. I'll be able to make Connie jealous because she knows I used to have a lot of girls on the string before I met her. She knows I'm a man of the world.
Well, I'm a man of the world, too.
I'm talking about this world.
Hey, I just thought of something. How will Margie and Connie know that we're going to have dinner at Pierre's with two other girls?
Well, that's simple. Open the door, Freddie. Hello, Mrs. Odette.
Oh, hello, Mr. Albright. Well, excuse me, I was just on my way down the hall.
Well, Freddie, in about 30 seconds, everybody in the building will know we've got a date with two girls.
Vern, you're a genius.
I know it. Let's go.
Oh, Connie, I feel awful. So do I. To think that Vern would take up with another girl. He's not interested in making up with me.
Neither is Freddie. That is, with me.
Oh, Margie.
Oh, Connie.
Oh. Okay, knock it off. Knock it off. And turn off those tears. The apartment and the floor below is flooded.
People are crying?
No. There's a drip under the sink. Now dry your eyes. I got news for you. Your guys are going out to dinner with two dolls.
We know.
How'd you find out?
When they made the date, we were listening outside the door.
Stealing my stuff, huh? How much did you overhear?
Well, just that they're meeting two girls at Pierre's.
Is that all?
Yes?
Amateurs.
Mrs. Odette, what do you mean?
The two dolls they're taking out are a couple of actresses that they hired for the occasion.
What?
That's right. Freddie figures if you see him with another girl, you'll break your neck to make up. And your father figures that Connie will do the same thing.
Well, this puts another light on the matter.
Yes. Oh, thank goodness Mrs. Odette's tipped us off.
Well, you know my motto. I get there fastest with the mostest.
So that's their little game, huh? Trying to make us jealous.
We ought to call up a couple of fellas and do the same thing.
Yeah, two can play at that game.
So can three. Get a friend for me.
Now, let's see. Who can I call?
Well, how about George Rush?
Oh, he's such a wolf. The last time I went out with him, he tried to kiss me. And was I upset?
Why?
We were in a canoe.
Well, I could call Phil Niblo for you. I know the family well. They have scads.
They have?
Yes.
So why don't they take shots for it?
Oh, Margie, you're always joking.
Yes. She's laughing on the outside, but she's crying on the inside.
Hey, Connie, I just thought of something. We won't accomplish anything by showing up at Pierre's with Dave.
We won't?
Of course not. Now, what I want to do is get Freddie to apologize to me, and you want to get my father to do the same to you, right?
Right.
Well, I've got a better idea, but we'll have to keep it very quiet.
What is it?
Go ahead, Margie. You might just as well talk in front of me. Oh, but don't worry. I won't blab anything. Promise? Promise. My lips are sealed. Ooh, it hurts, but they're sealed.
Gee, when are those two actresses gonna get here?
Oh, take it easy, Freddie. They should be here any minute. I told the head waiter to show them to our table.
Well, I hope that... Holy Toledo!
What's the matter?
Get a load of those two gorgeous blondes coming this way. Wow! Wowie, wow!
Hubba.
Excuse me. Which one of you distinguished gentlemen is Mr. Albright?
Oh, that's me.
I'm Tilly Smith. And this is my girlfriend, Millie Brown.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance.
How do you do? This is Freddie Wilson.
Hi. Likewise, I'm sure.
Well, sit down. Now, I explained the situation to you over the phone, so I assume you girls know what we want you to do.
Yeah. You want we should make your girlfriends jealous. Ain't that not so?
Yeah. That ain't not so. I mean, that's right. I think.
Well, they should be wandering in here soon. Would you girls like something to eat in the meantime?
Thanks. Well, you're ready yet.
Tilly. That's effing.
Well, how about some dessert then?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll have pie a la mode.
What about you, Millie? Pie a la mode, too?
No, I think I'll just have some pie with ice cream. And a demi-tassy.
I think I'll skip the pie a la mode, and I'll have a demi-tassy, too. With coffee.
Hey, Vern, Margie and Connie just came in. They see us. They're headed this way.
Oh, okay, girls. You know what to do.
Gee, I hope we put it over for you.
Why, Ben, all right.
Why, Connie, I didn't expect to see you here.
And I didn't expect to see you, Margie.
We just happened to drop in. Well?
Well, what?
Aren't you going to introduce me to your mother?
Mother? I ain't his mother.
Oh, I'm so sorry. The resemblance was so strong.
Yes, you both have the same color hair.
Well, you're wrong. He's a brunette and I'm a blonde.
Wanna bet?
Allow me to introduce you. This is Tilly Smith and Millie Brown, Miss Connie Carter and Margie Albright.
Albright? Hey, that's the same name as you.
That's right.
Your older sister, maybe.
Touché.
She happens to be my daughter. Connie, would you like to join us?
No, Ben. I just can't stand the sight of you with another girl.
How about you, Margie?
I can't stand the sight of you either. That is, with another girl.
Well, we have to go now. We must get to the theater. We're performing tonight, you know.
Be careful. Don't fall off the runway.
We'll see you gents after the show, like usual.
Okay, girls. See you later.
Goodbye, Fernikin.
Goodbye, Frederican.
So long, girlykins.
Gee, what a doll that Millie is. And she's crazy about me.
Oh, and Tilly is crazy about me.
Then, does this mean the end?
Well, I can't help it if another girl is stuck on me.
Me either.
I wouldn't want to break your heart, Connie.
And I wouldn't want to break your heart, Margie.
Oh, that's big of you.
Of course, if you want to apologize and make up.
Oh, no. If I apologized, you'd have no respect for me and you'd hate me. Better you should apologize and I'll hate you.
I feel the same way, Connie. That is, from Freddie's point of view.
Vern, how long have you known this girl?
Oh, Tilly and I have been smoldering for years.
Yeah, and Millie and I have been smoldering for years, too.
Well, why don't you jump in the lake and put out the fire?
Hey, here's the two guys, Harry.
Boy, I can't wait to get my hands on them.
Who are you?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Larry Smith. I'm Tilly's husband.
Yeah, I'm Harry Brown, Millie Brown's husband.
So you're the two guys who've been running around with our wives, eh?
Yeah, well, we were waiting to catch up with you.
Now, just a minute. There must be some mistake. I just met your wife for the first time tonight.
And I just met your wife for the first time.
But you just said you've been smoldering for years.
Smoldering, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, which punk should we slug first?
Let's slug the sappy-looking one first.
Please, Mr. Albright's an old man. Hit me first.
You're the guy I'm talking about. I'm gonna punch you right in the nose.
Now, wait a minute. Freddie, take off my tie. I don't want you to get blood on it.
This'll serve you both right.
Yeah, running around with married women. Shame.
If you fellas will give me a chance, I can explain everything.
Better make it good, chum.
Yeah.
I didn't know Tilly was married, and in fact, I never saw her before. I hired her as an actress to have dinner with me just to make Connie jealous so she'd make up with me.
Yeah, that's the truth. Millie came along so I could make Margie jealous for the same reason.
Yes, you ask Frank Post, their agent. He'll verify our story.
Frank Post, okay? We'll check with Frank. But if you two monkeys are giving us a runaround, we're going to look you up and beat the daylights out of you.
Yeah. Now remember that. Come on, Harry.
Yeah.
Man, that was close.
Freddie, were you telling the truth?
So help me, Margie.
How about you, Vern?
Oh, honest, Connie, I just wanted to make up with you.
Well, Vern, as long as you're apologizing, I'll forgive you.
Same here, Freddie.
Gee, thanks.
Now, if you two hadn't been so stubborn and apologized to us in the first place, you wouldn't have had to go through all this trouble.
Yeah, we were dopes, eh, Vern?
Speak for yourself. And don't call me Vern. Well, I guess maybe I should have apologized earlier. I'd have saved $50.
$50?
Yes, I have to pay those two actresses for playing the parts of our girlfriends.
Oh, by the way, Dad, would you let me have $50?
$50? What for?
Well, I have to pay those two actors for playing the parts of your girlfriend's husband.
My Little Margie is a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.